Hey there, everyone. I am so sorry that I am late. Well, as many of you guys have seen, there is breaking news. WWE just did a bunch of releases, and from the looks of it, there still seems to be like, as of like a few minutes ago, PW Insider was still dropping more names. And so for the last hour, I have been basically like doing videos on that and getting all of that stuff out there. So I was a little bit late on that. But let me go ahead and queue up Smackdown, everyone, and we'll get right into it. I'm so sorry. Let me get the show up and running. Give me a second. Again, this is the second time I'm ever late. So my apologies on this, but let me make sure. Okay, here's LA Knight. He's on. LA Knight is. Everyone's seeing the same. I'm on the right show, right? Oh my. Yeah. Okay. Damian Priest just confronted LA Knight. Okay. I was like, wait, because sometimes Netflix can be a little confusing where you like don't know if you're clicking on the current episode or a episode that's already passed. So yeah. Alrighty, guys. Let me know if you can hear the audio, by the way. If you can hear the audio, please let me know. Also,
disqualified and lose that #1 contenders matchup to McIntyre, and understandably unimpressed is LA Knight.
Yeah, Drew got that DQ win, #1 status.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Thank you so much, everyone, saying the audio sounds good. All right, and we'll talk about the releases in the first commercial break.
And last week, that was all about Drew McIntyre. WrestleMania happened.
Good, everyone's saying audio's great.
No excuses. I was good with moving on. But he couldn't keep my name out of his mouth. And then he mentioned my family. I just came out here to shut him up.
Dude, look. I get all of that. I've had to chase dudes down, beat them down. I know. You want to knock your name out of his mouth. I get that. But you picked the wrong time. You picked my time. And now I didn't win my #1 contendership. If I'm honest, the bell rang because of you.
Oh, yeah, they're still on this. Okay, I was trying to remember everything that happened here.
Solo spiked you over there. So all I did was save you from eating a Claymore and getting pinned 1, 2, 3.
My man, I don't want to dig too deep here, but I feel like you're living in the past. I feel like you're reliving WrestleMania. Just because you ate a Claymore, just because Drew pinned you and beat you, don't put that on me. You don't have any idea how that was going to come out. I could have called him BFT right here. I'm just saying, don't let your failures be mine.
This is interesting, by the way, Damian Priest and LA Knight.
The way I see it, this whole situation.
Both guys that kind of need something.
You lost your championship at WrestleMania.
Priest coming out of losing from the match with Drew. LA Knight losing to Fatu.
My man. Look, I lost my championship. I get it. I understand that. But guess what? As soon as I lost that championship, I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to come back. I'm going to fight for the thing the very next week. And then I'm not out here right now wrestling for this championship because of you. I can't say it any clearer.
This is the deal. All your frustrations, they're your fault. Maybe if your head wasn't up your ass at Mania, you still be champion.
But then he could kind of say the exact same thing about Damian. By the way, guys, we're going to get into the releases news in the commercial break, all right?
The idea here is we ain't got a problem, right?
I wasn't expecting all of this during the Smackdown watch-along.
You ain't got to worry about where the head's up. You're going to worry about me putting my foot up yours.
I like this, though, with Priest and LA Knight.
All right. We could do this back and forth for a minute.
We can.
Our match is later on tonight.
Yeah.
I don't see why we should wait. I don't see why they should wait.
All right. Looks like they're going to make this match for tonight.
I'm saying we get a referee down here and we do this right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going for it right now,
Wait,
now.
don't
I
wanna
thought
wait.
this
Do you
was
wanna
going to
wait?
happen like way later.
No! Let's do it
Okay,
right
that's
away.
next.
Knight and Priest.
All right, guys, that gives me a second to get into this. All right, so sorry to everyone again for being late. For those of you who have not been on social media or even on this YouTube channel, I dropped about 6 or 7 videos right now announcing, or rather, excuse me, reiterating some of the reports that were brought out by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Wrestling, as well as PW Insider, basically notifying us of several WWE releases. And I gotta tell you, there are some very surprising ones in this list, guys. Cora Jade from NXT. I could not believe it when I saw Cora Jade's name. Dakota Kai, who I just feel so terrible about. I just saw her over at the Hall of Fame. I just interviewed Dakota, guys. Like literally just interviewed Dakota. Okay, so her, and then also Shayna Baszler, who I feel also terrible for. She was last part of the Pure Fusion Collective, and as you all know, Sonya Deville was also released several months ago, and while her contract was not renewed, so unfortunately, that kind of left the group pretty much we have not that much going on for them, at least from the looks of it. So Shayna is also gone. Another NXT person is Gigi Dolan. I was also surprised by that one because you guys know we cover NXT here every single week. So NXT, she has been teaming up with Tatum Paxley. You guys know I love Tatum and Gigi. So I felt so shitty seeing her name on there, especially because she'd been doing her thing, she'd been, she was part of Toxic Attraction. Crazy that JC Jane is the last one of Toxic Attraction there because Mandy Rose is gone. Now Gigi, and then Jakara Jackson, guys. Jakara Jackson was the most recent name that has came out. Jakara Jackson, I feel so terrible for because, I think we have known for a long time that Jakara Jackson that Lash Legend was kind of the star of the duo, right? Like Lash Legend was kind of the bigger deal. We know that, but I still felt like Jakara Jackson had been pulling her own and trying to like make a name for herself and doing her thing, right? So unfortunately, she's gone too. And then for the guys, so we got to talk about also the guys. So I mentioned Cora, I mentioned Gigi, Shayna, Dakota, Kaden and Katana, have to mention them too. They were the first name that I saw that was posted up there by Sean. Kaden and Katana, I'm not surprised at all because they just never really did anything with them, even when they were women's tag team champions. It just didn't seem like there was much that they were doing with them. And then also but it sucks though because we need we need tag teams. Like we need women's tag teams. For the men, Braun Strowman, guys, this is his second time being released by WWE. He had been released a couple of years back. He was released then, and then he came back, and then he was released again. You hate to see that because it's like the second go around. You're really hoping for the best, obviously. There's also some more names that I haven't even spoken about. The other names are, where's the other one? So it looks like I just said Lash Legend. So for the guys, it looks also like Eddie Thorpe, and it looks like Eddie Thorpe may be done and still not entirely too sure. I think he is though, Eddie Thorpe, as well as Riley Osborne, I believe. Riley Osborne, I don't think has been confirmed just yet. By the way, SmackDown is back.
Smackdown.
So I don't think Riley Osborne has been confirmed yet, but I believe Eddie has already by PW Insider. So that's where we're at right now, guys. So I know that we are. No, guys, Lash Legend was not released. It was Jakara Jackson, her partner. Jakara Jackson was released. So yeah, I know there's a lot to take in and a lot of different names. So Yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. It's just one of those things that, unfortunately, every now and then we see WWE do, which is why I want to emphasize 2 things. One, never burn bridges, guys. Never burn bridges, because you never know when you're going to be out of a job and you're going to have to try to get another job someplace else. Never burn bridges. Secondly, this is why I'm always so against tribalism, because at the end of the day, you want people to get jobs, and thankfully there's other pro wrestling companies out there, TNA, AEW, New Japan, all of these different places where hopefully these people can like go and find some work, because it is tough out there, guys. Right now, so we're seeing a lot of women, a lot of the NXT girls get released. And truth be told, I'm not surprised, because we talk about this every week, guys. By the way, I'm still paying attention to the match, okay? I'm multitasking, okay? I'm multitasking. This is a crazy day. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where there are so many women on the NXT women's roster that are just like, the spots are, I would say they're not even filling up. I would say they're full. They have more than enough women there on NXT to keep the NXT roster going, to go up to the main roster, you name it, like they are packed. So it's just like one of the things that it just happens, which is unfortunately and that's what it is. And Jared Jarvis, by the way, just a heads up, probably know a lot more than I even say. And right now, I'm just telling you what is out there and what is put out there. And also, I haven't done too shabby for myself, all right? Do a little research, Jared, on me and the things that I have done and the things that I have accomplished, and why I am able to talk about this in on here on a podcast. Okay, so just a heads up. So yeah, I just don't like people like that, guys. I'm here trying to talk about this. This is a serious thing, and that's just where we're at right now. So what else? I'm trying to think. Sorry, there's just so much, guys, and there's just a lot happening.
Looking for the south of heaven. Instead,
dang, I can't even focus on SmackDown, which I'm trying to focus on, because I actually really like Damian Priest, and I'm such a big fan of his work. So obviously, having him open the show and with LA Knight, this is actually something fun, because again, you have 2 guys here that are sort of like stuck in the same spot right now, and they're trying to like climb up the mountain and whatnot. So that's kind of how we are on that end.
In recent weeks, especially considering what happened at WrestleMania in each of their matches, was looking for the Razor's Edge this time.
Also, I need to catch up on the super chats. I will do so in a second. This has been a crazy, hectic day, guys. I was literally eating dinner when the news was coming in, and
he's asking them. And he's set to deliver.
Yeah, the last. Oh shit! I was gonna say, LA Knight gonna defeats Damian. Because these are 2 guys that like both need the victory. I can't explain it. Like they both need it in different ways. Oh, SmackDown just went on a break. All right, so SmackDown is on a break.
Big offensive surge.
Oh yeah, so I was eating dinner when I saw the news came in, and yeah, so for the last hour, it has literally just been like non-freaking stop. But no, I really do stand by that statement, guys, of like, do not burn bridges. Make sure you keep those relationships open with people. You never want to trash any company. And I'm pretty sure that's probably going to upset some people, but it's the truth, guys. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just never know when you're going to be out of a job, and you want to have some more opportunities available. And it's the same thing for the fans. It really is. Like, at the end of the day, you want to see your favorites continue to have jobs, continue to have work. And that's just the truth right there. So that's just what it is. And so
But no,
yeah, I'm really sad for a
Vince
lot
is
of these
able to hit the
people, and
brakes
like I
on that
mentioned, some of
attack.
these were very surprising. Let me see what everyone's saying here on the super chats here. We got Jeff Lee, by the way, who just became a brand new DWO member. What is up, Jeff Lee? We got Bob Ross Jr., who says, I honestly don't know what's worse, people blaming Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and Mariah May for the recent releases, or people cheering and celebrating the releases. Okay, so both of them are not good, obviously. You can't blame other people, because at the end of the day, it's one of those things like, God, like we were talking about this. Me and Shinadu have this conversation every Tuesday. We're always talking about how you literally have to like try your like very best, work even extra harder, try every single thing you possibly can, and then hope and pray that the stars align and that you get an opportunity. But right now, there are a lot of new people, but this is not Stephanie's fault. This is not Mariah's fault or Julia's fault or Jordan's fault or anybody's fault. Like, they're coming in and they're doing their part, right? But it is one of those things that became very noticeable, where certain people we were seeing on NXT are no longer really shown on TV, right? A perfect example is Lola Vice. Like, we haven't even seen too much of her. There's other examples too right now that I'm not thinking about, but it's one of those things where I had said, like, you gotta like really cling on to your spot right now, because again, there are so many women on NXT, and all of them are really freaking good and are killing it. They're all bringing something different to the table. But again, Cora Jade was not one that I was expecting, especially because Cora Jade is very, very popular. She's got a lot of fans, and people have been wanting her to be NXT champion. I thought she would become NXT champion, so I was just so bummed out for her seeing that. Dakota Kai, I know Dakota, well, this is not NXT, but still, Dakota Kai, like, Dakota has sort of been like waiting for her moment, you know, like things happen and then something else happens, but like she's been sort of like waiting for her moment. And then celebrating the releases, of course, it's not, I know that fans get excited about wanting to see other people in other promotions or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's the loss of a job. And I think we've all been in a situation where we've lost a job. I've lost plenty of damn jobs throughout my life, and let me tell you, it sucks every single time. And I can't even imagine it if it's like your dream job and then like losing your dream job. That's even 100 times more worse than just any ordinary job. It sucks more when it's your dream job. So it's never, by the way, we're back from commercial break. It's never cool to see anyone lose their jobs in any field or any career. Bob Ross Jr., thank you so much for your thoughts here. We got John Taylor, who says, not watching SmackDown tonight, but it doesn't mean I can't hang out with the DWO. Gutted for everyone released today, sending love to the wrestling world. I feel like Damian Priest needs to win this match, only because like he's been doing good, man. But at the same time, how many L's can LA Knight possibly like take, especially coming off of like losing the United States Championship and whatnot twice in a short period of time. Thank you so much, John, for coming in to hang out and chilling. We got Brandon Rosen here, who says, such a waste of amazing talent. Good luck to all. I agree. We got Saif Den Super here, who says, I'll never forget you, Braun. Street fight he had with the classic. Triple H had to sign these mid-AEW talent for no reason. Love that big high flyer. Well, look again, guys. It's not anyone's fault, guys.
But instead
You
of
can't place like blame on the new talents that were coming in.
Priest counters broken arrow.
Just is what it is, you know. It's just
Priest not going for a cover
this is
here.
what it is. I don't know what else to say,
Mistake,
man.
perhaps he's
But you can't
acutely
place
aware
blame on the
that the
talent that is
megastar is not
incoming,
gonna go
because you know
down
this is
easy
a
in
cool
this one. You
opportunity
have
for
to
them.
stack that
And
offense.
yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. We got Uncle Donk here, who says, Cora, AEW getting an early Christmas present. She's so young. She'll definitely bounce back on her feet for sure, man. She's young, she's talented, she's got a great look, she's got lots of fans. she will definitely bounce back for sure. Thank you, Uncle Doc. We got Roberto Arsenal here who says women's division is the strongest yet. Cora, Dakota, Gigi get released. Makes zero sense. I hope Stardom or AEW sign these women. They're good workers. Yeah, man, I agree. I want to see Dakota get her chance. And as for Gigi, she was also doing good, man. I'm so bummed out about her and Tatum no longer being a duo. I was such a big fan of them as a tag team. Like legit a big fan of theirs. Saif Den Super here says, Rich, throw the phone into the ocean.
Stephanie's Places, by the way, this week's episode on ESPN.
Oh my God, yeah. At this point, like, it'd be terrifying to like answer your phone and shit, like just awful. But I've interviewed so many wrestlers that have gotten released, and literally, oh shit, he just face planted him right on the ring apron. Damian face planted LA Knight. So I had just interviewed Dijak not too long ago, and he said in my interview, like, Solo Sikoa came in and caused the DQ. He's attacking Damian Priest.
As this match is over because Solo Sikoa just came in to beat down Damian Priest.
Well, you got to be careful.
Dijak had basically said in my interview that no matter who you are or what spot you're on the roster, obviously, you know, not like Roman Reigns, but like everybody else, you know, just always be prepared. You know, you always have a plan B. You never know when it can be you. That was what he said. So, you know, take it for what you will. Thank you, Saeed.
He's lining up the Samoan spike.
We got Ryan Adams here who says, I wonder if Sean ever gets a heads up on releases because he just lost 2 people that are part of teams, and Cora was just sent over to TNA and did great. Wonder if they are getting rid of the tag titles. I have no idea in terms of like when Shawn Michaels finds out, if he gets a generous heads up, or if he finds out, you know, I'm pretty sure he gets a generous heads up. I would hope so, right? Because that just sucks. Because, you know, these are people that they've got plans for and things for and all of that. So you never want to see people lose their jobs, especially also when you get to know them and you hang out with them. It's backstage, but then again, we've been through this before, and we've been through it plenty of times. So I don't know if maybe they're like used to it already. I truly don't know.
Solo Sikoa's made a major faux pas here. He's about to get a
Thank you, Ryan. We got Hercules87 here who says,
Jacob
Potts. The AI husband just came in. The AI husband just arrived.
But don't speak too soon, not when the perpetual motion machine LA Knight is around.
Knight, Samoan drop.
Whoa, this camera is going crazy. They don't even know. There's so much action going on. They don't even know where to put the camera on.
And vicious of all. He is completely off the chain.
So Hercules87 here. Oh, hold on.
Running hip attack into the barrier. He just
moved the camera shot. They killed Damian Priest.
Right into the side.
Well, between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, a major message has just been sent to anybody who may have eyes on that United States Championship.
All right, so Hercules87 here says, hey, Denise, supporting your new channel, but who are you taller than? Who's taller, you or Randy's wife? Oh, Randy's wife by like a lot. She's definitely taller than me. I would say by like at least a couple of inches. She just looks so small next to Randy because Randy's so big. So yeah, she's definitely taller than me. Thank you, Hercules, by the way, for supporting the new channel and checking everything out. Thank you so much, man. So for those of you who don't know, I did start a second YouTube channel. It's called Denise's Pieces, and it's basically a clips channel, and so that is up there right now. Thank you, Hercules. We got Ryan Adams who says, while that Dakota was the first ever Triple H re-signee when he took over for Vince, and besides tag titles, never really got a singles run on her own. I know, like, I think she also has a very passionate fan base. She has such a good look. She attracts a certain audience. Like I know she's really into like gaming and that type of stuff. And I feel like she could bring such a different element to just a different personality than kind of what we're seeing with a lot of other people. She's just a cute human, and so obviously, you know, it really sucks to see that. I'm guessing maybe they just did. I don't know. I think it all comes down to like business decisions, creative decisions, and things like that.
Joe, Wade,
Oh,
thank
there's
you guys
Fraction.
so much. Right now, standing by with the team that made their successful debut last week here on Friday Night SmackDown. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, otherwise known as Fraxium. And tonight, guys, you have another chance to go out there and show out. But this time, against Pretty Deadly.
We're excited, Byron. You know, in NXT, we flipped the entire tag team division upside down. And on Friday Night SmackDown, we plan on doing the exact same thing. Ain't that right, amigo?
Yes, we are. I mean, did you see that TLC match last week? It was bonkers, right? That's exactly what we're so excited to be here in SmackDown. This is the best tag division in the entire planet.
Well, on that note, I do have to ask.
Yes, boys, coming through. Yes, boy, yes, boy. Excuse
Oh, okay. If they do Fraction and Pretty Deadly, I am so on board with that.
Everybody saw it. Thank you.
So I love Pretty Deadly's gear today.
The
Pink, the yellow, the blue.
SmackDown is home of the best and hungriest tag team division. Speaking of hungry, tasty debut last week.
Very tasty.
But don't forget who the two tastiest snacks are around.
But I will admit, I'm enjoying having some extra European blood around SmackDown. It's really nice. It must be nice for you guys, right? It's new, it's exciting, and everybody loves you, and that's great. That's great. But I'm suggesting maybe we knock it down 20% and we remember that opportunities are earned, they're not given.
And we know how good you guys are, but more importantly, we know how good we are.
But wait, just remember, we thought that, but then we were thinking, wait, do we know if they're any good?
Oh, yeah, we did some Axiom
We've
math,
not wrestled
and
them,
then
and we
we've
don't
not
know if
wrestled
they're any good. And sometimes, so then we spoke to Uncle Nick, and we said, can we find out if they are actually any good?
Well, we're looking forward to it.
Be careful what you wish for, pals.
Oh, pals. Be careful. Oh, be careful,
See you out
won't
there,
you?
pal.
Ooh.
All right. So a nice little interaction there with Fraction and Pretty Deadly. So it looks like I didn't look at the card today, guys. I literally came in completely blind to this show. Let's see. We got Day Day here who says, to bring good news, congrats on your new agency partner. Day Day, thank you so much, man. I am so freaking excited. Like, you don't even know. I could get like really deep into the weeds about like what this opportunity means to me, but I don't want to be like, I don't want to start crying on the air, to be honest. I really don't want to do that, or that's just embarrassing for me. But guys, I have been in this business now for, and I'm talking about like the entertainment industry business, like the hosting, reporting world, for, it's going to be 11 years in July. 11 years in July. And for a really long time, we're on a commercial break, by the way. For a really long time, I had, reached out to agents, and they would tell me like the same thing all the time. Like, oh, you got a lot of potential, but we just don't really have anything for you right now. Like you need to, you're just not there yet. Right. Like that whole thing that you have potential, but you're not there yet. And by not there yet, they meant followers, and they meant like you needed to have like a following. Right. And so for so many years, it was kind of frustrating because like I just could not get an agent. I just didn't have the numbers or the stats and things to like back up why they should like, take a risk on this like random girl. Like it didn't matter. Like, even though I was working and doing the job, it didn't matter. What mattered was that, I had other things too. And so I like continued just to like build and build and build. And, finally, this actually happened, and I was just like over the moon about it because it was so hard. Like, this is 10 years in the making of trying to get an agent, and a good agent, a great agent, not just any little agent, a great agent. So this was 10 years in the making. And so, yeah, that's why I'm like, if I really start talking about it and I really start thinking about it, I'll just get like super emo about it. So I'm going to press on. We got Nate here, by the way, who just became a brand new DWO member. Thank you so much, Nate. Welcome to the family. We got Ryan Adams here, who says, while they always suck, WWE has always done releases post-Mania ever since they've been around. Man, I just feel so bad, man, because like these people don't expect it. And like I said, by the way, I'm keeping track. I'm refreshing PW Insider, keeping track of everything, refreshing Twitter, making sure that no additional names have been announced while we're on the air. And as of right now, I think the last thing Sean just tweeted actually was there's a number of other NXT releases I'm working on confirming. And based off of like what PW Insider is also reporting, it seems like that's the case. So I guess just keeping an eye out on what is being put out there. So damn, this sucks, man. Thank you, Ryan. We're still in commercial break. We got Uncle Donk here who says if Cora signs with AEW, then she should be in contention for the TBS title. It's too early to even talk about like what she should be in contention for or anything like that. But like I did say, she is young. She is talented. She's got a great look. She's got fans. And I feel like obviously, you know, AEW should be investing in the future. And Cora Jade is one of those names you can argue is the future. We got Juan Ortega here who says, Denise, will you miss Eddie Thorpe now? Eddie. Well, I mean, dude, like I never want anyone to lose their jobs. When I'm talking about people on TV, I'm talking about their characters. Real life people, you never want to see them, lose their jobs or anything like that. We got John Taylor here who says, Denise, you don't know shit about the business of pog collecting. What the hell is pog collecting? You're right. I don't know shit. I bet you couldn't even identify a rare slammer, could you? I don't even know what a pog is. POG. Hold on. By the way, I do agree with the 8 of us together who says Cora would be a great fit in TNA. I'm guessing a pog is like a Pokemon.
What a magnificent.
Tell me if I'm right. Pokemon. I'm waiting for the chat to confirm. Pokemon. Isn't it when you go and you collect the Pokemon? When you like walk around with your phone and you're like collecting Pokemon? No. Oh, God, guys. God. Okay, never mind. I don't know what a pog is. I'm out. It's not a Pokemon. That was my only guess. We got Say here who says, first super chat. Matt, thank you so much, man. He says, don't let Gators headers get to you, Denise. You're doing great. Appreciate the news. Congrats also on getting signed to your agency. Hope it leads to more. Can you speak more to it? Yes. So Matt, first of all, thank you so much for the super chat. So basically with my new agency, they are gonna basically like help me in the things that I'm doing. Like they give me, like I just had a meeting today, for example, with my agent. And basically, you know, he gave me advice on the things that I need to work on, you know, the things that I need to do better at. And they're more like business type stuff, not really like, you know, creative stuff. It's more on the business side. And so basically he helps me connect with more brands because, you know, they have those connections. I don't have those connections, right? Like I'm always reaching out to people, but you know, when you're coming in with no connections or anything, like it's really hard to convince people like, hey, you should invest in me, because usually like how it works is a lot of like networking and connecting with people, and you have to really prove yourself constantly to brands and whatnot. So helping with brands, by the way, this we're back on SmackDown and Pretty Deadly versus Fraction is starting. So connecting with brands as well as helping me out with like getting more hosting opportunities, you know, whether it be in radio, TV, digital, live events, you name it. So having someone represent me and make sure that I'm not underselling myself, you know. So I'm really, really excited about it, and I'm very, very, very excited about it because again, I've been waiting for this for a very long time. Oh my God, Frank! Oh my gosh, Nathan! Oh my God! He was literally just like zoom, zoom, zoom. I know we've seen Nathan Frazier wrestle now like 100 times, right? But every single time he does anything where he's running, I'm always so impressed by it.
When a new breakout team hits the scene, you feel like you know your place in the
whatnot, and so he's really smarted me up, guys, like on the business side. I'm not, you know, honestly, you live and you learn kind of deal. And it's so nice to have somebody that has more insight and more knowledge and more experience and knows what they're doing. Whereas me, I'm just like, oh, I'm trying to do everything. Oh. So yeah, Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. Seriously, and seriously, thank you. We got C-Note here who says that I wonder if TKO or Hunter. I'm tired of this. I think it's probably a combination of both, guys. That's my assumption on that. And still no updates on any additional releases as of right now. Actually, yes, there is another release, everybody. Sean Ross Sapp just reported that Gallus has been released by WWE. So Gallus is no longer with the company. Gallus, who you guys know was on the NXT brand. And to be honest, I'm not surprised by this one either, because we also really haven't seen too much of Gallus on the show. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep up with SmackDown, the releases, and everything. Gallus has not been seen on television. I don't know when their last match was, but it's been a minute. They do need tag teams on NXT, but I think they're probably focusing on different kinds of tag teams is what I imagine. The men's division as a whole on NXT is very slim. So anytime I see guys let go on NXT, it's always very surprising, again, because they do have more of a slim roster. So unfortunate to see Gallus also be released, man. But yeah. We got David Primero who says, if I was rich or worked for WWE, I would save them from being released. Hopefully WWE changes their rules. Only releases who don't want to be there. Yeah, I mean, that one's always, a very controversial topic, right? Because there's always the argument of people who don't want to be there / people who signed contracts. But usually what I notice is that people that don't want to be there when the releases do come, usually their names are mentioned in there. By the way, Pretty Deadly and Fractium are kind of killing it here on SmackDown, everyone. We're on a commercial break now. And again, I'm so sorry. Usually I'm talking a lot more about SmackDown than I am right now, but it's just craziness today. Fuck, what was I saying? Shit, I don't remember. Oh yeah. So just talking about David, I mean, we've been going through this now for such a long time, and it's pretty much the same conversation every time. It sucks to see people let go, and it's just some people thrive, some people you don't really see too much of them anymore. And it's crazy too, because like so many people have like found a place to like work at. And then others, we just really haven't seen much. Like they're still trying to hustle on the indie scene and all of that. So it really is. It's a lot, guys, and it's scary. And you got to bet on yourself. And some people are like, hell yeah, I got this. I can do this. And then they go out there and then they become bigger stars, and you just never know what's going to happen. But then there's other people that unfortunately, you just don't see very much of. So it is hard, especially when you're talking about like, so many people. Like when you think about how many wrestlers there are like in all of the companies, like we're talking about hundreds of people, so like there's only so many spots, and it's just it sucks for everybody. We got Stuart Bridgman with a very generous super chat. Stuart, thank you so much, man, for consistently just being so nice to me all the time. Seriously, Stuart Bridgman says, for someone who doesn't know wrestling, you sure teach me a lot about it. Hey, look, I'm sorry. I kind of like snapped earlier, or not snapped, but I had to clap back just for a second, because I just do too much now to be constantly told, that I don't know anything. So, and I do everything in my power to be in the know and inform other people too. It's my job. I take it really seriously. I really care about my job. And I don't think I need to tell you guys that. I think you know that. I show up every single day and try to just try. That's it. That's all I've got. Never been a natural. All I do is try. Anyways, I'm hoping to get to some Taylor Swift stuff and stuck inside everybody's head now. All right, we're still 1 minute away from the show coming back. Stuart Bridgman, dude, sending you some love, man, and I hope you have a really great freaking weekend, man. Thank you so much, Stuart. Guys, can you please give some love to Stuart in the comments? Like, seriously, please give him some love. He's super generous, and I feel like my thank you's never enough. We got Shelf Presence here who says, I can see most of the female talent splitting between TNA and AEW. Cora and Dakota will be picked up immediately. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like so many people, what do you call it, can see both Dakota and Cora there because, again, they're young girls and you want to see, I feel like there's still spots for more women in AEW. Like, personally, I really do think so. Like, I think they can add more women. For the men, they seem pretty stacked up, but for the women, I think there's still more spots in there. You want to see people have like varieties of matches because AEW also brings in, like, by the way, we're back on SmackDown. AEW brings in a lot of people like from the outside. And I think sometimes, so to me, that tells me like there is spots for the women because instead of constantly bringing people from the outside, they could, circulate and use people within their own roster and whatnot. So, like, I would love to see Cora Jade mix it up with your Julias, your Skies, all of those gals. And Dakota with Mercedes and Tony and all of those girls. And so, Jesus freaking Nathan. So, yeah, like, it's just one of those things where those spots are available. And sorry, I'm watching Nathan just like, oh my God, this guy to me is honest. Wait, that was a 2?
Wait, that looks exceptionally
what?
close.
That was a 3.
In absolute disbelief.
Nathan is just an energizer bunny, man. He is an energizer bunny. He's like fully charged. Fully charged, bro.
To the jaw of Alton Prince.
Wild. Thank you so much, Shelf Presence. And yes, I agree with the statement. We have Jared Palmer here who says, are you here next week or will you be in St. Louis for Backlash? Appreciate all your content. Ooh, Jared, this leads me to making a great announcement. Thank you so much for queuing me up for this. Many of you guys know Alex, Queen of the Ring. If you do, shout her out in the chat. So Alex, Queen of the Ring is one of the sweetest people that I know out there in the content creation space.
And now here comes
and
Wilson.
she is based in New York.
They're so focused on attacking Alton Prince.
For the win.
Nope, not yet. Okay, so she is
well, that was a mistake.
Sorry, I was doing this.
Really
I just realized that it probably looked like I was talking to someone, but I wasn't.
SmackDown. Fraser is lucky he's still taking in this one.
All right.
Big
so,
right
okay, so Alex, Queen of the Ring, you guys know her. She's super sweet. She's based out in New York, and so New York's obviously a lot closer to St. Louis. So I contacted Alex, and Alex is going to be covering Backlash for me. So she is going to be there at the press conference. She'll be there getting the things and such. And I'll be here doing the watch along and the post show. I'm so excited about this because beautiful Spanish fly. Oh, and now there comes Nathan with Jesus Christ. That Phoenix Splash is insane. Yes, good job for Axiom and Fraxium. For Fraxium, they get another win. I'm really excited about this because this is the first time that I have somebody on my behalf to go cover something, and it makes me feel like a real business. Let me tell you that much, guys. It makes me feel like a real business to be able to, John, it's much closer than I am in California. For those of you who don't know, a lot further from California. I'm sorry, a lot further from St. Louis than Alex is. Her flight would be like 2 hours. Mine would be a little bit more. So I don't feel like doing that.
When that TLC
all right, let's do a beef abs as a
Michin. And I would love if Michin and myself we'll be able to get our hands some gold of our own. And we know that you just gave some time off to Liv and Raquel, so Liv can go film that movie. I'm just saying that when they come back, we would be honored to be on top
I can take that under consideration.
Just a couple of paper tigers right here. There. Madam Chat. Chelsea, you can come up there.
Condolences for your loss.
Oh my God, Chelsea's dressed in all black. She's mourning her title loss.
Last week was rigged, hijacked by the deep state of jealous women in the locker room, led by none other than crooked Zelina Vega.
Chelsea, the numbers don't lie, and the referee counted 3. So that's the number I care about.
Textbook collusion confusion is what that is. We are talking about the United States Championship, Nicholas. You're not even from here.
Neither
You're
are
not
you, or
even
you,
from
or you.
here.
Dang,
You
blasphemy.
know here.
She's an American hero.
That's right.
American hero.
Take you to the Supreme Court.
Well, good luck with that. I have a show to run, so unless there's something
Please,
else-
I would love to see Chelsea take him to the Supreme Court.
What if I told you I won't take you to the Supreme Court and instead you will give me the recount that I deserve?
I think you mean a rematch, and that's something we can certainly talk about, just not tonight, because tonight, Zelina Vega is going one-on-one with Piper Niven.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Since when?
Oh, what?
Now, one-on-one.
Zelina
Hey.
versus Piper?
Piper's successful. She'll be first in line for a title shot, and then maybe she could be U.S. champion, and then maybe
Oh, I
you
think
could be her secret
Piper.
hostess.
Oh my gosh. Chelsea. Chelsea literally just passed out at Nick's
It was a
announcement.
shocking return.
Oh
a
my
week
God, I
ago
love
for Nia
Chelsea.
Jax.
She's so funny.
Seen her since Elimination Chamber. We'll hear.
All
from
right.
the dangerous and
Anyway, so
determined
yeah.
Nia Jax
Um,
next.
Jesus, there's a lot at the moment that I'm just like,
Come
hold on, let me mute
Denise.
this. So yeah, so I'm very happy to have Alex cover that because I feel like it's a really cool opportunity for her, and I personally enjoy doing my watch-alongs and I enjoy doing my podcast, and it's my primary focus. So to have somebody be there on the ground covering for me, and I don't have to fly, 5 or 6 hours or however long it takes to get to St. Louis, trust me, it makes my life a million times easier. So I'm excited. Yeah, so I'm taking a lot more risks, and I hope they pay off. So thank you so much, Jared. We got John Taylor here who says, we did find the one person Denise is taller than besides Rey Mysterio, Jenna Ortega. Okay, so by the way, I think Jenna might be taller than me now because that was when she was like a little girl. So clearly she's grown since then. So I'm pretty sure Jenna is taller than me now. But when she was a little girl, obviously, she was tinier. We got Mayhem here who says, I wish Axiom would take his ugly behind mask off. Also, hey, Denise. I mean, like, sure, I guess Axiom could use a better mask. Look, I love masks, and I love masks that have like really, really detailed, like really nice detailing to me. And I'm not a minimalist, guys. I'm a maximalist? I'm the opposite of a minimalist. I can't even say it. All right, minimalist, okay? I'm the opposite of a minimalist. And so I personally prefer more details in mask and the intricate designs and all of that. So that's just how I feel. JB says, Denise, I guess you're taller than Hornswoggle. Barely taller than Hornswoggle. So yeah, Mayhem. I mean, he can always use with the much better masks. We got Juju here who says, I don't know how WWE's on the cusp of announcing Evolution 2 and released 7 women that could have benefited it and just introduced 2 mid-card titles. So I still think they have enough. They have a lot of women, dude, like a lot of women to fill up the Evolution card. Of course, I would have loved to see Cora Jade and Dakota Kai all take part in that, but they do have a lot of women on the card. And also I really am anticipating and hoping that they bring in I really am hoping and anticipating for them to do Evolution 2. So I do hope that happens. I've been literally calling for that. Just did a video of that at the end of last year because I really wanted to see it, and I was so excited when I heard the rumors that it was potentially going to be happening. Thank you so much, Juju, by the way. We got Corey MacArthur here. Corey! He says, congratulations on all the accomplishments and advancements. You don't know, but now do what you do gives me encourages me and inspires me in my endeavors. Just subscribe to the new channel. Hope all is well. Corey, thank you so much. I'm trying to post more motivational stuff on Twitter and social media and stuff because one of the things that I feel about social media, and even I'm guilty of this, to be honest, is that I feel like everybody only ever posts like the good stuff of their lives. Like they only post like the positive things, and like, some people's lives seem like absolutely perfect. And I sometimes, like, even knowing that social media, people are just posting their very best, sometimes you can't help but to feel like you're not doing good enough. Like,
Man, I can't believe we're just 8 days
like
away
you're
from
not good
being
enough,
there
like
in
you're
St.
not
Louis
doing
in
good
the
enough, like if
nonstop
somebody else's life
excitement,
is better
backlash
than
with
yours,
On
right?
Location,
And
the
you start to
official
compare
fan
yourself, and
hospitality
sometimes you feel like
partner
shit
of
about it.
WWE.
And I
Unrivaled
kind of
access,
hate that.
unmatched
And I started
service, the
thinking to myself, like,
unforgettable experiences
if this
you
happens to
can
me,
find your package
then
for Backlash
somebody
on
else is
location,
probably seeing the same things that I'm posting and feeling the exact same way, even though I'm feeling the same way with things that other people are posting. And so I just feel like, I don't know. I think it's nicer to be a little bit more transparent about these things. And so social media could be just like, it could be a lot. It could be pretty negative. It can make you feel like shit. But I think at the end of the day, you got to be smarter than that, right? Like, realize that that's not the case. Like, no one, like, just because people post picture perfect stuff, it doesn't mean like anything. Like, it doesn't mean that they're better than you or that they have it all and you don't. It does not mean that at all. So yeah. And yes, Diener says, yep, about social media, never try to be somebody else. Trust me, man. Trust me. I feel that. Feel that. So anyways, all that to say, Corey, is that I'm so happy that you're feeling encouraged and whatnot. And that makes me happy because, you know, I just think it's nice. I think it's nice. Thank you, Corey, sending you love. And hopefully you have some great fits this weekend. We got John Taylor here who says, Pogs were a fad that was shorter than fidget spinners from the 90s. I just thought it would be funny to reference the most random forgotten thing. Yeah, it worked though, because I had no idea what you were talking about. Thanks, John. We got Day Day here who says, now you got to be the new spokesperson for Slim Jim. Yo, I've been hitting up Slim Jim. Like, I hit Slim Jim up like 3 different times already. But still no movement there. See, that's what I mean by being transparent. I can tell you guys I've hit up Slim Jim 3 times and they were like, no, baby. No. I mean, they didn't say it like that. I wish they said no, baby, no. Oh, man. But yeah, no, they just, you know.
And side note, we will be hearing from Randy Orton
Thanks,
later on tonight, right here on SmackDown, regarding that match.
All right, let's see what's next on SmackDown. Nope, nothing yet. All right, we got Hercules87 here. Hercules, thank you so much for your generous super chat. Hercules says, Denise, pick the women champs by the end of the year, meaning Raw and SmackDown. And are you watching the huge Mexican boxing match tomorrow? I'm actually not really in like the boxing world. Which is crazy, right? Because you're probably like, Denise, you're Mexican. What do you mean you're not in the boxing world? Oh, there's Nia Jax. She's feuding with Tiffany Stratton now after she attacked Tiffany Stratton, I think last week or the week before that. So, yeah. The only times I would watch, I love Nia Jax gear, by the way. Really nice, all black, lace. A little leather, a little shimmer. Ooh, that's probably my favorite Nia Jax gear. Yeah, so my family would always put on the boxing events and they would put on parties and things like that, and the whole family would come over. I didn't really care. I just liked to socialize with the people, so that was all I did. But yeah, so I probably will not be watching tomorrow. I am going to be covering Collision, so I'll be here talking about Collision tomorrow. And then pick the women's champs by the end of the year. Ooh, since she's like right in front of my face right now, I do hope Naomi holds the championship on SmackDown at some point. And then for Raw,
letting the champ know that she wants her gold.
Would it be too crazy for me to say Roxanne Perez? Or is that too crazy? I don't know if that's crazy or not. Thank you, Hercules. All right, let's see what Nia Jax has to say.
Thanks, guys. It sounds like you all missed me. Well, that was a warm welcoming, and I'm really happy I'm back. But you see, while I was gone, and your champion, Tiffany Stratton, was running around here like a Barbie doll with her head cut off, I was at home getting refocused, regrouping, so I can come back here and take what is mine. the WWE Women's Championship.
It's Tiffany time.
Up, here we go. Tiffany's out here. Okay, Tiffany Doom agrees with me on Roxanne Perez. All right, so I'm not too far off then. Okay. I wasn't sure if I should just go all out. Ooh, look at Tiffany's gear today. She looks like a Christmas gift.
You were gonna
a Burberry
say that you're
Christmas
gonna
gift.
annihilate me and then take my title. Newsflash, I'm not the same Tiffany Stratton that used to bully around anymore. Cashing in on you was the greatest thing I've ever done for my career, and I do it again. And then I went toe-to-toe with one of the greatest of all time, Charlotte Flair.
I love the way Tiffy talks. She reminds me of every
And if we
single
ever lock up again,
girly movie I watch.
I beat you too.
Yes, beat her ass. Come on, Tiffy.
You offer me a rematch?
No.
I want her to. I want to see Tiffy rematch Nia because I want her to get a clean victory over Nia.
Been here long enough to know that I don't make the matches around here, but I'm certainly not shying away from a fight. I'd defend my title against you anytime, any place, anywhere.
Ooh, are they gonna make this for Backlash? I assume. Maybe, maybe not. DJ here says Buff Barbie. Yeah, Buff. I think Buff Barbie is probably more Jordan Grace.
Well,
Or what were they calling her? Buff.
looky.
Buff. Oh, I love Naomi. Buff Sabrina Carpenter. That's what it was.
You know, it's funny to see the two of you fighting because I remember for months when I was trying to get the WWE Women's Championship from Nia, Tiffy, you always found a way to make sure you helped her out. You two made my life hell. And you say that you've changed? Nah, Tiffy. I've changed.
Yeah. And for the better,
I'm
honestly.
a new Naomi now. I'm no longer the sweet Naomi, the good girl who stood behind Bianca and let Jade walk all over.
Good girl gone bad.
I took matters into my own
Riri.
hands. I took out Jade and I took my championship. Jade may have
Oh my God,
ruined
Nia's so
everything
pissed.
that I have worked for, but I am not done. Shut up.
Call him
I
out,
am
girl.
not done going after gold. And not only will I push you onto a car, I'll push you under one.
Oh. Dude, she's out here doing death threats.
We'll proceed with
Okay,
caution.
let's
May
see.
hit a little different right
she's
now.
she's
Look
here and
at
she's
that
pissed, and I
purposeful
love
stride in the storm.
Jade's stockings
Jade
today.
Cargill is gonna get after Naomi.
I'm
right
wondering
now.
if they're gonna
The
do
brawl
like
as well with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton.
I don't know.
Well, it was Jade Cargill that got jumped by Naomi last week during that match,
Woo!
and then subsequently,
She landed
of course,
knees first.
Tiffany Stratton jumped.
I'm guessing they're gonna do a tag team match maybe today.
But a payback before our eyes here.
Them team up together, Jade and Tiffany.
All-out brawl, and now Tiffany and Jade circling each other.
Okay, ladies, let's settle
Or maybe
down.
not.
Let's settle down. If the four of you are so eager for a fight, then let's give Des Moines, Iowa a tag team match, player.
Okay, tag team match. There we go. Yeah,
Let's give 'em
I'm good with that.
Naomi and Nia Jax versus Jade Cargill and the champ Tiffany Stratton, and let's do it tonight.
That's
All right,
it.
so it looks like we're
A
getting that tag
potential
team
match.
matchup. I'm assuming they're about to go to commercial here. Look at Jade's gear.
Great
Ooh.
friends who split over a
With the lightning
contract
bolt,
cash-in,
too.
So that is great stuff by Nick Aldis to know that. He deserves a big hand, by the way, this week. He led the way on Raw, filling in on Raw. Then he over-delivers here on SmackDown 2 times already
Well,
tonight.
being a GM is a thankless task, but the truth is you get 4 big personalities like we just had brawling in that ring. They're going to fight one way or another, may as well make it legal.
One of the biggest post-Mania surprises came a week ago. The return of a
I like that Joe
dangerous,
Tessitore and Wade
often
accidentally
mysterious
matched
and cryptic,
or purposely
capable
matched.
superstar.
His blazer matches Wade's flowers.
You never forget.
I don't know if they did that on purpose or not.
And I am
about to have a very bad night.
All right, we're doing a repeat of a recap of Aleister Black's return. In the meantime, let me catch up here. We got Juan Ortega here who says the DWO loves a clap back queen rose control. You won't see me do that no more. I'm nice. Uncle Dunk here says possible WWE is making room in their budget for Mariah. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they've got the money, guys. they've got more than enough money.
How's he gonna try and make a moment?
Thank you, Uncle Dunk.
Tonight we gonna show him.
All right, we got Miz and Mello.
And Dre.
Dude, I hate that necklace.
This is what I was talking about last
That
week.
Andre the Giant necklace does not look
2 decades
good.
I built WWE with hard work and spotlights.
Is it just me?
Performances. I've outlasted next big things, so-called flavors of the month, so-called legends, you name it. And he wanted his second chance. He targeted the right one. Yeah. You target a nobody, nobody talks. You target the Miz, everybody talks. Spotlights on you. But here's the thing, he didn't knock me out last week. He woke me up. Because I'm not fighting for a spotlight. I'm fighting to remind everyone exactly who I am. There's a reason I lasted in a company that he only lasted 5 years in. Aleister Black wants to make a statement, but he's going to be a part of mine. Let's go.
Okay. God, I hate that necklace. Oh, it drives me crazy. Tiger Claw says, Mello said, I'm not carrying that awful trophy every week. Who else do we got here? Future King says, nope, not a good look. Boycott Activision says, I think it's supposed to be ironic. You think? I don't know. I just kind of hate it, though. Lewis says it's really bad. It looks awful. I know, and I'm like, I love Andre the Giant, and I feel like for the most part, they've done a great job of like honoring him. So like putting his face on that ugly thing is just like, why would you do that to Andre the Giant? When they first revealed the necklace, I was like, who is that? Literally, I didn't even realize that they were trying to do an Andre the Giant look-alike for the necklace. All right. In the meantime, let me catch up here. We got Hercules87 who says, "Hey Denise, when's the next time you can interview your twin Roxy?" Honestly, don't know, guys. Usually what I do is, I reach out like every couple of weeks to WWE to see who they have available. Sometimes they let me know they have someone available, or sometimes, I reach out. So it just really depends on like whether or not, they have like whether or not they might have like they need her to like talk about something or promote something or anything like that. Then like that, it's usually more likely for it to happen. Thank you so much, Hercules, though. But I know that she's obviously a very popular one that people love when I drop interviews with Roxanne. And I've had a couple now, I think like 3 or 4 interviews with Roxanne. So yeah. Thank you so much, Hercules. We got Sammy Sawapai Boone. Oh, hey, good to see you again. Says, hey, Denise Gallus was on WWE Evolve last Wednesday. So unfortunate. I mean, look at Braun Strowman. Like Braun Strowman was on the April 4th SmackDown facing Jacob Fatu. One of them was going to go to WrestleMania, and he had that really fun feud that I liked with Bronson Reed not too long ago, as well as Jacob Fatu. So, I just wasn't expecting Braun Strowman either, like really was not expecting that at all. I really don't know. Thank you so much, Sammy Pine Boone. We got Bob Ross Jr. who says, to lighten everyone's mood, Travis Scott was aura farming like he was the Undertaker. Aura farming. Is that a thing? Aura farming? Like, is that like a legit saying? Aura farming? Okay, I need to find out more about this aura farming thing. Thank you, Bob Ross. But also I had said during the watch along, I was like, dude, these like, why is he talking? Why is he walking so slow like he's the Undertaker? Like, at least the Undertaker, it fits the gimmick, and that's just what the Undertaker does. But like, bro, straight up freaking walking like the Undertaker when you're Travis is wild. Sheldon here says fact of the night has been sent on social media. Oh, yay. Let's see what the fact of the night is. Okay, Sheldon Jackson just sent the fact of the night. He says, unfortunate, sad fact of the night. The last 2 times WWE announced Australian shows, WWE did releases on the same day, i.e. Tennille Dashwood, aka Emma, was released on the same day. Sheldon, I gotta tell you, it always blows my mind, the fun, like, not the fun facts, but the facts that you sent, because there are always things that like either I forgot, didn't realize, or didn't even think of. So I do appreciate Sheldon's facts of the day. And please keep these going. You don't even have to send a super chat. Just like sometimes I check my DMs, sometimes I don't because I'm so busy on the show. But like sometimes I will check my Instagram. But you can just like let me know in the comments or something, and I'll make sure to like check on the DMs because I really do feel like your fun facts can add a lot to the show. So thank you so much, Sheldon Jackson. We're 37 seconds away from SmackDown returning. We got Stuart Bridgman who says, in interviews, are you told questions not to ask? It's probably only happened to me. So it's not necessarily like question to ask, like questions you can ask, but it's essentially a publicist's job in all, like not just wrestling, like everything, like in every aspect of element, sports, you name it. They will tell like reporters and whatnot, like, hey, just a heads up, so-and-so doesn't want to talk about this. And that's just the way that it is. And it's it's what a publicist does. And it's their job to like relay those messages to reporters and whatnot. So yes, this doesn't happen often though. Like this is very, very rare, but this does happen where you're like, hey, maybe don't, ask about this. But again, this is not just in pro wrestling. This is in sports. This is in entertainment. I was an entertainment reporter for 6 years before I was a full-time in pro wrestling. And that happened to me a lot on red carpets where publicists would be like, hey, we have this person to talk to you. Just don't ask about this. Okay, great. Lovely. Continue on with the conversation. So it's a norm. It's not like a bad thing. It's a norm. Thank you, Stuart. And we got a super chat here from David. David, thank you so much for popping in once again. David says, this isn't cost-cutting or creative issues. We know exactly what this is. I'm protesting SmackDown tonight and might even sell my tickets for Backlash. We can't allow this to happen. Unfortunately, David, at the end of the day, they're a business, and they're just going to make cutthroat decisions like that, whether or not, us, the fans, agree with them or like them or what. They're just going to do these things. And I feel like the reason why there was a lot of women on this was specifically because they do have a lot of women on the roster, but it sucks. It's not, and there were a couple of people that you can tell they didn't really have, much for them, which is unfortunate because at the end of the day, you can probably think of something, but I don't want to even make excuses, but at the same time, like those are just some things to be like aware of. But David, thank you so much, man. And I hope you don't sell your tickets for Backlash. I hope that you still find a reason to go to the show and have a good time, like go out there and have a good time. YOLO, do your thing, live your life, and still have a good time. Thank you, David. We got Saif Den Super who says, Ridge, if anyone calls you no hablas inglés, I'm dead. That is so sad. That is so sad.
Now comes
oh man,
with a concerning destination for so many in the SmackDown
Thank you, Saif.
locker room.
All right, and I'm officially all caught up. Let me double check to see if there are currently any updates at the moment.
all day last week. He just
Let me check to see
appears
if there are any
and
updates.
causes devastation.
It doesn't seem
with
like it.
precision
Neither
strikes. A
Fightful
ton of
nor
questions
PW Insider
surrounding the
have posted
return
any
of
updates.
Aleister Black.
So
The
we're
top of the
still
list for me is
we're still
one
as is a
target,
couple of
The Miz.
minutes
The
ago,
Miz
as
is
we were a couple of
convinced
minutes ago.
It's because Aleister Black wants to
All right, guys.
stand in the
Now that I'm all caught up,
gigantic spotlight.
I'm gonna make sure to chat out people in the chat. I'm so sorry if I couldn't shout you guys out earlier, since everything that was going on. But I'm officially all caught up. So shout out to McDiesel, Infamous DJ1, David Trahan, Mr. Nobody, JD Zap, Diener, 45RK, Double S. Oh hell no! This is a no-no. Carlton Lineback, Super Fro, Spike Hunter. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show. This is just one of those wild ones. We got Tanisha Hicks, Day Day, Devin, John. We got John here who says, Denise, I tried to DM you, but was told to contact your agent after discussion with your agent. Congrats, you're on the next Dancing with the Stars. I actually would love to do that, Dancing with the Stars. I would love it. Lately, by the way, we're watching Aleister Black versus The Miz now. Lately, I've been doing more dancing videos. I'm trying to find ways to incorporate. So if you guys have any ideas, please send them my way. Shit, he's like running through the Miz.
Leg sweep, that hardcore Muay Thai move.
Yeah, expert precision by Aleister Black, who trains with Muay Thai.
I'm trying to do more WWE dance videos, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't make sense, but I've been trying to do a lot more of that.
Goes for the kick. Black able to get out of the way. As he's
I have weird ideas.
Miz looks to counter. Catches that
Ooh,
boot.
nice.
Then there's that right knee that comes up again. You see the pedigree and the movement of Aleister Black. His elbow comes striking right through the top of the torso of the Miz into the cover.
Aleister looks good. Looks good.
Matrix-like performer. He's just a step ahead of the Miz.
Awesome. Thank you so much, John.
Mrs. Mistake has been trying to match Aleister Black.
Double S says we love the dancing videos. Gracias. I will try to do a lot more.
Peppering the Miz with shots from
Aleister Beck, I did not see a super chat from you.
And with that one moment of hesitation,
I'm looking through the super chats right now, Alex, and I do not see one from you. I'm not sure if you sent in just a regular comment or an actual super chat. So I do not see one from you here, Alex. We got we're on a commercial break now. We got Hercules87 here who says, Denise, thank you for everything. So proud of you moving up. One last thing. Can you do a video of guess who's taller or best Denise, best tag team member? Salsa Fandango. Hercules, thank you for the really generous super chat and also for these like really good ideas.
Opened up the door for
it's interesting actually. I do get asked a whole lot who's taller, like me and X person, me and the other X person, me, X, Y, and Z. That's actually something that I get asked a lot on this. So maybe I should do a video. I'll do a chart of who I'm taller than and who I'm not taller than. Spoiler, the only person I'm probably taller than is Zelina Vega, and that's about it.
Something really has awakened inside of
but Hercules87, though, thank you so much for the generous super chat. Hope you're having a good weekend and hope you continue to have a good weekend. John Taylor here says, I'm sure Sarah would love to see you on Survivor. Wait, that sounded like for bad reasons. No, because it's Sarah's favorite show.
Not getting a match at WrestleMania.
I don't think I've ever seen Survivor, so I would show up and not know what to do other than survive, but that just sounds awful. Thanks, John. Aleister says, you're stealing Fandango's gimmick. I should probably do Fandango's theme, you know?
That Aleister Black is
I should probably do it.
His giant spotlight. The Miz is a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the best of his generation, regardless of what the audience may think of his personality. So Aleister Black targeted the Miz for a reason, and I can't quite figure it out.
Miz, a two-time WWE champion, an 8-time Intercontinental champion. He's had the U.S. title, multiple tag team championships. He's won 2 times. He's won the Money in the Bank. Black comes up and gets sent over onto the apron. Miz slides out and tears him down, and Black's head comes thundering down to to the hard edge of the apron as Carmelo Hayes just sits back and admires the work.
Well, you don't see moves like that in Muay Thai, and this dirty tricks campaign of The Miz has been a massive difference maker this evening. It's about the only thing.
We got Dan 1983 here who says, greetings from the UK. Have a good weekend ahead. Same to you, Dan. And thank you so much for watching all the way from the UK. It's pretty late for you, though, isn't it right
lower back
now? Let me check my world clock.
Up near
It's
the eyes
2:18 in London right now. 2:18 a.m. Oh, you need to go to sleep, Dan. Get yourself some rest. But thank you so much for tuning in to the watch along. Seriously, and I'm so jealous of you because I would do anything to live in the UK. I think the UK is just like prettier. I'm like, I would love to live in the UK. Thank you, Dan. We got Day Day here who says, I see Denise doing the worm, caterpillar, spinneroonie, the Brodus clay, rosebuds, no way, Jose, too cool dance. Yo, I should do that, but I can't do the caterpillar. There's no way. Can't do the caterpillar. Can't do the spinneroonie. I got no talent. Oh, no dancing skills. Well, just basic generic dancing. Thank you, Day Day.
Against Black, who's in his first official WWE.
Oh, man.
October of 2020.
Well, it has been an absolute masterclass by The Miz. Oh, go for that skull-crushing finale, but too quick was Aleister Black. And
we got Uncle Dunk here says Aleister's a perfect fit as the leader of the Judgment Day, assuming creative decides to keep the faction going. I think they've moved on. Honestly, I thought that it was a possibility for a while. I really did think it was a possibility, but now I don't really think so. I think Aleister's kind of better off on his own. But if he did get brought into the Judgment Day, it would be a 100% different dynamic than what they have right now. I think right now the Judgment Day is a little bit comedy-ish versus Aleister is more of a serious kind of fella.
Which tells you exactly why Black is just so dangerous.
Thank you, Uncle Dunk.
That's striking ability.
John says, yo, you know Reg blew up your spot in Vegas on Rhapsody? What?
When he took advantage and now
What are
he's
you
able to
talking
parry
about?
that right hand and then
What did he
sweeps
say?
the leg. And look at the speed and the offensive versatile attack of Aleister Black.
Sure, sorry.
Aleister's
To
working.
the liver in there at one
Honestly,
point.
I thought this was going to be a squash. I wasn't expecting this match to go as long as it has. I literally thought this was... Dieter just said the exact same thing. He says, I'm just surprised this wasn't a 30-second squash match. Yo, I think it would be like at least like 2 minutes or so. Jaron Drowning says, Aleister moving. That's what I'm saying.
8 days away from Backlash.
I think with
we are going to hear from the
because when he was in AEW with he was House of Black, he we saw him do a lot of good stuff, but you know the attention just wasn't only on him. You know, you had Buddy out there, you had Brody out there. So I feel like this is the first time in a long time where I have just been solely focused on Aleister. Jared Palmer says the show has been boring. What do you think? It hasn't been the most exciting episode of SmackDown, but I guess I didn't notice it too much just because of everything else going on, you know? Everything else going on has sort of taken away from this show as of right now.
A little bit of strategy.
So, yeah.
Oh,
thank you, Jared.
You just look at the reaction by Aleister Black.
When you train with world champs in Muay Thai.
John says it was like they were going to the club and you were like, bye, guys, and went back to the hotel. And he's like, yo, thank God she went back to the hotel. That's not blowing my spot. I would never go to the club. I hate the club.
Ban that move immediately.
Ain't no way I would go to the club unless I wasn't forced to like I was for this 23 minutes.
What a thunderous strike from Aleister Black, but Miz comes back and snaps down his head on that rope.
I never want Aleister Black to kick me.
Oh, he's looking for the skull-crushing finale. Can you believe that?
No, it's cool.
Can you believe that?
The Miz is acting like he's never seen a cartwheel in his life.
Look into those eyes. The mysterious
Oh, he's done. He's done. He's cooked.
Delivers again.
Bye. Oh, now Aleister's going to take his time. He's taking it sweet time finishing him off.
When he puts that foot under that head and lifts up his potential victim. Oh, Carmelo. Gets up on the apron.
Oh, I can't wait to see Aleister and Carmelo.
There's a roll up for the win. the kick out
Jesus.
by Black.
Done.
There it is! There it is!
The Miz's
What?
face. I think I saw his eyes go crossed. That's funny. Yeah, this match ended up going a little bit longer than I thought it would. But it ended the way I was expecting it to. Super Fro says Aleister is having fun with this match.
He's highly dangerous. Give the devil his due. And Carmelo Hayes, not this week, pal. Live to fight another day.
Does he want a piece of that? Face to face, Carmelo Hayes and Aleister Black, after a massive black mass was just delivered to the chin of the Miz. First win going back almost 5 years.
We got a super chat here from Dev who says you should do a video ranking the most awkward wrestling interview segments. As an interviewer yourself, I think you'd have a unique perspective. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like to judge interviews or interviewers. I don't, because I've been judged and it's not a good feeling. And so I don't want to do that to anybody else. But thank you, Dev. Though
Welcome back.
I do notice a lot of things, like when I'm watching interviews and stuff, just like technique stuff. And it's kind of fun. So maybe in that kind of light, like technique, sure. Thank you, Dev. Oh, here we go. We got Ray and
chance to
Santos.
watch your match at WrestleMania, and brother, I gotta tell you, what I saw was a true embodiment of disappointment. Yeah. Not only did you lose the biggest match of your life,
I love Santos'
for
shirt.
which you should be embarrassed, but you also embarrassed the whole tradition of lucha libre by losing to a clown, un payaso, like El Grande Americano.
True.
Rey Mysterio himself picked you to take his place at WrestleMania.
Tell me you're going to
And
do
you
Ray and
blew it.
Santos today, because I'm on board with that.
And now, the self-appointed greatest luchador of all time is out of the picture. And this time, hopefully forever. Someone's going to have to take his place. And that person, brother, has always been me. So, if you know what's best for you, you're going to want to listen closely to what I got to say. Mira, cállate.
Stay out of my business, okay?
Whoa, espera.
There is only one luchador in the world I trust. And definitely, it's not you, brother. If you have a problem, I will see you in the ring tonight. I'll make it happen.
Do it. I want to see it. Do it. I hope it happens. All right. 1 second. Oh, we got Zelina Vega. She's about to have her match with Piper Niven.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Queens, New York, she is the new Women's United States Champion, Zelina Vega!
How can you not feel great?
So happy. I love it. Let me see. Where are we at? I have to catch up here. We got Sheldon Jackson who says, check social because it was too much to put in the chat for the last time when WWE announced a show in Australia. Releases also took place. Sheldon, did you miss it when I read your DM? Or did you send a follow-up? Oh, he sent a follow-up. Okay. Sheldon, to add to his fun fact of the night, he says, let me mute. We're on a commercial break, so I'm going to mute. He said, so on September 21st, 2023, WWE announced Elimination Chamber for Perth, and the following people were released on the same day. Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Shelton Benjamin, Elijah, Emma, Aaliyah, Top Dollar, Madcap Moss, Rick Boobs. I meant to say Rick Boogs, not Rick Boobs. Rick Boogs, Mansoor and Mace, Shanky, Dabakato, Dana Brooke, And then from NXT, Quincy Elliott, Yulisa Leon, Eichmann Jiro, Bryson Montana, Brooklyn Barlow. Riddle was released 2 days later on September 23rd. So I guess this is when Sheldon had said about the same time that WB announced those Australian shows, there was also those releases that took place. So that is wild, guys. Now I'm going to be nervous every time I see them announce an Australia show. I'm going to be like, oh, no. We got Bob Ross Jr. here who says, if someone put they got roasted by John Cena on Friday Night SmackDown on their resume, could they get hired? Sure. I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you, Bob Ross. We got the one thing, if you don't want to make sure that you do get hired, is you can't have out of office replies. That's what Nick Khan said, that he doesn't hire people that do out of office replies. All right, let me catch up here on what everyone's saying. We got John Taylor who says Reg's favorite wrestler, Rick Boobs. I feel like everyone would cheer for Rick Boobs. And instead of like, remember when Billy Gunn was Mr. Ass? And you're like, I'm an ass man. Rick Boobs could be Mr. Boobs. So bad. And I'm a boob man. It's much easier when you're talking about, Billy Gunn and Mr. Ass and all of that. It just sounds so like worse when you say Mr. Boobs. No, actually, Mr. Ass sounds way worse than Mr. Boobs. Way worse. Yeah, I think Mr. Ass is way worse than Mr. Boobs. But that's just me. That is just me. Infamous DJ One Sounds. That sounds like a porn name. Of course it does. Spike Hunter says Daddy Ass is an awesome name. It's a terrible name. Oh, man, terrible name. Van76 says, are you going to Australia for WWE events? Probably not. I feel like it's going to cost way too much money. I wanted to go to SmackDown AEW show. SmackDown. Oh, my gosh. I really just said SmackDown AEW show. All right, that's how you know I'm done. I'm cooked. Mexico AEW show. That's what I wanted to say. Hold on one second, guys. My editor just sent a quick message. Okay. So I wanted to go to the Mexico AEW show. And I actually ended up buying myself tickets as of Wednesday. I had said on the podcast that I bought tickets. But here's the thing, though. I bought the tickets and then I went to go like book everything. And it was so ridiculously expensive. I was like, oh, hells no. Like, I am not going to pay that price for this. No. And then I decided to do what somebody else had suggested, which was to fly out of the San Diego, Tijuana like area. And so I was gonna do that, and so I went and I did like a mock book for my plane ticket and everything, and it was like not even that much of a difference. I guess it's because it's the summer.
So I would go to these shows.
They just cost so much more money to fly out to Mexico than if you were going like in September or something. The prices in June are ridiculous.
I didn't care. I was just pumped to be on
Pat
the screen or
McAfee
anything
preview
like
with
that
Stephanie McMahon.
every stage of my life.
Oh my
Whether
God,
it's
Pat
junior high, high
McAfee
school,
in this
college,
photo looks
NFL,
like Dave
you name it, whatever
LaGreca.
city, whatever group of
Holy
friends
shit,
are around.
he
I told them all
looks
that I was
like
gonna be
Dave
a professional wrestler.
LaGreca.
I'm supposed to be a professional wrestler. Supposed to be a professional
Tell
wrestler.
me I wasn't the only person
And
who
episode
like
7 featuring
noticed
Pat
that.
McAfee of Stephanie's Places
Literally.
comes up next Wednesday. This week, Stephanie's
Oh
Places,
shit, that
of course,
tripped me
10
out.
episode ESPN original series been outstanding.
Yeah, so
Great
no, it was just
reception.
way too
Features the
expensive.
Bloodlines,
Way
available
too
to
expensive.
watch
So
on
I think I'm gonna sell my
Hulu
Mexico
and
tickets
Disney
back to
Plus.
Ticketmaster.
Of course, Pat's got some work to
because
do against Gunther in 8
ain't no
days
way
at
it's
Backlash.
happening, guys. It's not happening. Too expensive.
Showdown that's gonna be.
Leo Poroy says Denise creating her own Forbidden Door. Yes, come and watch AEW SmackDown.
At Wells Fargo Arena.
John Taylor says motorboat me, Mr. Boobs. Motorboat me, Mr. Boobs. Oh, that would sell so much. I mean, if Scissor and Daddy Ass can sell, motorboat me, Mr. Boobs can sell. Literally.
And get this, just announced, we had a luchador dispute in the locker room.
John says,
set
set up a Google flight alert.
the
Maybe it
Electric
fluctuates.
Ray Phoenix and the Emperor
Oh,
of
man.
Lucha Libre,
I just like to
Santos
know this stuff in
Escobar.
advance,
They're
you
gonna
know?
go one-on-one later tonight, right here on SmackDown.
We saw Zelina Vega, the new United States champion, having defeated Chelsea Green.
We got Matt Tay here who says, a little off topic, but as an interviewer too, what do you think about Belichick's GF girlfriend PR rep interrupting CBS and their interview etiquette-wise? I didn't see that. What? Can you send me the links now? Like, tag me on Twitter or something and send me this? I did not see that.
Wait, let's
I
remind
don't know
everyone
how
what
how
happened
the rep
last week
did
with
it,
Piper and her
but usually a publicist,
Weeks of chasing, but Zelina Vega finally got an opportunity at
like,
the US title last week.
how do I explain this? They have their ways of communicating with the host reporter, you know, as obviously as an interviewer yourself, you know this. And so if there was something that was said or that shouldn't be said, usually they like, you know, contact the person. Like they find a way to get their attention and like maybe do this or something. So yeah, no, I want to see that. I have to see it. Honestly, I can't really say anything until I actually see it. Because if I don't, then it's just going to be like, I need to see what happened.
There she is.
Thank you, Matt.
Full-on grief-stricken funeral mourning clothing, as she says, to grieve the loss of her U.S. championship. I'll give you a little more on that in a moment, but how quickly things can change. For months, it was Piper escorting out and serving at the right hand of the
All right, let's see what we get out of this.
Chelsea Green, and
with
now
Piper and
Chelsea without
Zelina.
the title, and Piper taking on the new champ.
But immediately, you see the disparity in physical advantages in this one, and Zelina Vega, right from the off, the champ, looks like a mouse lost in a maze. And there's a big lion coming to eat her in the form of Piper Niven.
Piper, boy, the size advantage of being stretched out by Zelina Vega. It'll be interesting to see the strategy that Vega takes in taking on Piper in a spot like this, who looks to just splash but misses.
No updates, guys, by the way, for those of you who are checking in, no updates as of yet on more releases. Still nothing new. I'm making sure to keep an eye out on that. And as of right now, the last we heard, which was several minutes ago, like over 20 or 30 minutes ago, was the Gallus one. And that's been the most recent as of now.
Memorial and placing it on her late father's nameplate. That was a beautiful scene.
Yeah, absolutely incredible from Zelina Vega. But contrast that with the emotions here from the former champ Chelsea Green.
Big shoulder just takes down Vega.
It was a sad lament in the physical form last week when Chelsea lost her title.
I feel kind of bad that they have to wrestle in a blazer.
But,
like,
I mean,
seeing
when you look at
Piper
Chelsea,
wrestle in a
ran into
blazer
role
looks
here
so
tonight.
uncomfortable.
The black sunglasses, the black veil, the whole
The
head to
tights,
toe formal
that's
funeral
no
complex.
problem.
What
But
are
the
you doing? She
blazer
said it
looks
anytime
just
Barker
like,
in history.
you
we
can't
collectively
even,
grieve.
you know, do this.
Incredible to think.
Move
but
your
she
arms
was
around like
compelled
you
to
get
try to
stuck
replicate
about right
as
here.
close to a similar outfit that Jackie O wore during the presidential funeral back in the 60s. That was from Chelsea herself. That is what
come
she
on,
said.
Joe, have a heart. Lady Liberty has
I mean, but to say
fallen.
that, to draw upon that, that's right from Chelsea's mouth.
John says, did you see Zelina brought the bout to 9/11 Memorial to show her dad? I did. Very, very emotional.
Nobody
Yeah,
is.
I
You're
did
the only
see
one who
that.
isn't. You have a heart of stone, Joe.
No, there are maybe 3 people, and one of them is Chelsea Green herself. It is a wonderful story to see what Zelina Vega, the underdog, has pulled off. And everything she had to go through to get to that point as Piper Niven slams her down so hard.
The celebrations are brief for the United States champion. You have to think, and this might not serve Chelsea well, if Piper Niven wins here in this non-title affair, perhaps she will be due an opportunity.
John says he
at the
ugly
goal.
cried.
There's no doubt. But right now,
It's
Zelina Vega is in trouble.
Very
Piper's in
emotional.
control.
Very emotional to see that. So, I mean, I feel like the fans are really excited about Zelina getting this opportunity. We're on a commercial break, by the way, but I'm going to keep the audio going since the match is still going. So I'm going to keep the audio going.
Chelsea Green has now become part of
Aztec 2000 says Zelina is like all heart. Yeah, she is. Like you can truly see her her passion. Toxic Gamer says Cora was one of the saddest releases for me. Yes, the dude. I was so hella surprised when I saw her name. Hella surprised. I could not believe it.
Look at the beating that Vega continues.
Sarah says, I'm so glad I didn't see that. I would have cried. By the way, we're talking about Zelina's video that she paid. She like went to the 9/11 memorial and she placed about her United States Championship there for her dad to see her accomplishments. You know,
spend your entire career wanting to win singles gold here in WWE,
but just you know, nice that she was able to do that. But terrible thing to think about.
Fight every single week that you are in possession of that gold.
JB from GA says, as a massive Chelsea fan, I'm happy to see Zelina get her chance. I feel ya.
Right at the feet.
Aztec 2000 says, Cora was in TNA, so was Gigi Dolan. Dude, like, I was a fan of Gigi and Tatum. I had just been talking about, actually, on the last NXT show. I think it was the last NXT show or the show before that. Either last week or the one before. But they had a tag team match. And so I was under the assumption, like, not under assumption, excuse me. I was,
that was a victory.
I was essentially going to say, like, dude, I feel like they've gotten so much better as a tag team. And so I was really thinking that that was going to go somewhere. I mean, they had a cool look.
The roll-up win and then
two cool gothic chicks, and now I'm not worried for Tatum. I mean, I guess I am worried for just about anybody, but I think Tatum will be fine on her own. She has such a unique look. Like, no one really looks like Tatum on the roster. So, girl can do a 630, okay? We need to invest in Tatum. I really like Tatum a whole lot. But yeah, I thought her tag team with Gigi was very cool. And so, yeah, that's a bummer that we're not going to see what plans they had for that on NXT. AJ Miller says, hey, Denise, enjoy SmackDown tonight. Thank you, AJ. Hope you are too. Tanner Blakely says, I was so shocked to see Shayna get released. Yeah, Shayna's also a really, like, nice, kind person. And, but I think it was clear, like, they didn't have anything for them. And after Pure Fusion Collective, like, damn.
But I'll tell you this about Zelina Vega. She is not giving up in a hurry, but she might want to start thinking about doing exactly that.
John says, then Shotzi disappeared all of a sudden. Sucks. Let's see. We got Creighton Robs here who says, I can't wait for SmackDown to go back to 2 hours. Tonight's show has been kind of sluggish. Yeah, honestly.
WWE. Earlier tonight,
we still have an hour and 20 minutes to go.
Aldis had other plans, and that is this test against Piper Niven.
I like when SmackDown flies by. Today is a little bit on the slower side for sure. I almost feel like I can skip through a lot of the show, but here we are. Yes, today there was an update that was posted on F4W by Dave, and he said that let me pull that up right now, actually, so that I don't fuck it up.
Was going to be home and dry, but a questionable shot to the thorax there from Niven.
So he said that there had been talk that SmackDown was going to go back to 2 hours on June 6th, but that's not a hard date. And I guess it was expected at the end of May, but then there was like a move back, and that company sources say it was etched in stone, but they expected it to be finalized this week. So hopefully this week we can find out exactly when SmackDown's going back to 2 hours. I am going to celebrate so hard when SmackDown goes back to 2 hours. Oh, it's going to be so much more of an easier show to watch, that's for sure.
Annoying when we're trying to do our job.
I think we should have got Chelsea Green on commentary for this one. But honestly, that's a discussion for another day as we take another look at this angled senton crushing the midsection of Zelina Vega, who you start to question, is the ref
also, Matt, thank you so much for sending me the link. I just bookmarked it, and I'm going to watch it afterwards, but I already bookmarked it for, I can watch it at some point.
On Piper Niven, a big right hand comes in from Niven. Niven, a former WWE Tag Team Champion with Chelsea Green, of course. 3 straight wins for Zelina Vega over Chelsea Green, the last of which she earned her way to get the title shot. And now 7 days into her reign, and she is being handled by Piper Niven.
Hey, we got Dawn, aka Smiley Girl. What's up, Dawn? We got James Sotelo, Toxic Gamer, Mike Cepeda.
Oh!
Vega hooks the leg. Meteora came crashing down on Piper Niven.
And that was about the biggest hit that Zelina Vega has landed thus far. Take another look. Meteora from the second row. It was a 2 count, but no more. And struggling clearly
What's
in
the big
agony
thing that
now.
they announced
Well
today
done
for the
She goes for
show?
code red. That's how she won it
Let
a
me
week
see
ago.
what has been announced.
But instead,
Oh, Randy's going to be on today.
Into the press.
Pretty much everything that they announced has already happened. Because they announced Aleister versus The Miz. That happened. Randy, he hasn't came out yet. And then they also announced LA Knight, Damian Priest. That already happened. Nia Jax. They're going to do the tag team match. That's incoming. Santos and Rey Fenix, I'm looking forward to. So some things to look forward to still on the show, but
Vega finally sustained some offense here.
You can still see Vega though reaching for.
this is not one of the most noteworthy episodes of SmackDown. Oh man.
Desperate times like this, Joe, you go on instinct.
What's up, Brad? Thank you so much for the kind comment.
Instincts
Very
have not
nice of
been
you.
serving Zelina well. She's been trying to match power for power against Niven, but this could be it, Joe.
We got Melissa Cabello in the building. What's up, Melissa?
A few of these moments, looking for the moonsault and delivers.
I like Zelina's moonsault because she's so tiny, and the way she positions herself is kind of funny.
Well, now the fog
I
is
want to see a
starting
replay.
clear in the mind of the champion, getting back to a game plan of that hit and move kind of offense, capped off.
Yeah, I like her moonsault just because she's so tiny.
Wasn't quite enough. There was an element of panic.
Toxic
in the
Gamer says
eyes
what's
of
going to
the
happen with
champ, but
Tatum
she
and
is
Shotzi
growing in
now. I
confidence as
don't
this
know,
one wears on.
dude.
Once
I
again,
don't know. Like, we haven't seen Shotzi in a while. It's mainly just been on NXT, like Tatum and
Piper Niven, who looks
Gigi. Like, I kind of forgot Shotzi was even with them for a bit.
but one shot puts her
Honestly,
back
even
in
forgot.
control.
Just looking for that power bomb. Can she get her into position as Vega is in trouble here? But Vega finds a way. Oh, do we have a 619 opportunity?
Shades of that mental.
Oh, what in the world with Chelsea Green up on the apron? Chelsea Green.
I think they're totally pinning Zelina today.
A week from being dethroned.
Oh, never mind. I'm wrong. I'm wrong.
Oh, no.
Look at this.
She did it. I was wondering, I was like, how are you going to convince me that Zelina could defeat Piper? Because, like, I can't buy that Zelina could defeat Piper, you know? So, with the distraction and the roll up and all of that, okay, they found a way.
4 weeks in a row, a colossal disaster for the Green regime. This time, it was a friendly fire incident. And somehow, Zelina Vega
Piper.
scurries
Piper
out
looks like
once
she's about to
again with
crack.
the win.
She might be
The
cracking right
underdog
now.
is undefeated at present.
All right, we got Nick Aldis
2
with Solo
weeks in a
Sikoa
row.
and
Matches have been
Fatu.
brought up
Let's
and
see what we
thrown
get
out because
here.
of you getting yourself involved. And by the way, Jacob, champ, you're not exactly innocent in all of this either.
Hold on now. Don't pin last week on us, okay? That was Damian Priest's fault. He's the one that caused the DQ. And as far as Jacob, he's telling everybody they better stay out of his way. That's a warning.
Well, warning received, which is why at Backlash, Jacob's going to defend that U.S. Championship against Damian Priest and LA Knight in a triple threat match.
Oh.
That's not, wait, hold on. How did that happen? Technically, Drew McIntyre won the match. He's the #1 contender. If there's anybody that should fight Jacob, it's Drew.
I mean, I'm down with that too, but now it's going to be a fatal
You're
four-way.
absolutely right, sir. Forget the triple threat match. Let's make it a fatal four-way
Yeah,
match.
see, there it is.
We'll add Drew McIntyre to the mix as well.
Now it's a fatal four-way.
You know what? Let's keep it 100. No matter who you put in front of me, line them all up. at Backlash. Because at the end of the day, I'm a dog walk that ass. See me? I'm all gas, no brakes with it. You know what I mean?
I look forward to this every week, guys.
I see what you're trying to do.
But I
You're
forgot
trying to
the part where
screw
he
Jacob
says,
over.
I'm a dog walk they ass. I always just remember the all gas, no brakes.
You are.
Wait, what?
Wow, Nick Aldis has been a busy boy this evening, but we got ourselves a new main event tonight because WWE Women's Champ Tiffany
All right,
Stratton
Tiffany and Jay versus
Cargill are
Naomi
gonna
and
team up
Nia
in
Jax.
Tag action against Nia Jax and Naomi. That is later tonight on SmackDown.
And coming up next, it's the Viper. A week ago,
All right, let's see what we get from Randy. Hopefully it's a good enough segment because this is the biggest thing. Brandy appearing on the show is going to be like the biggest thing. So I hope it gives us something good to actually sink our teeth into.
Iowa. Don't go anywhere. More Friday Night SmackDown coming your way.
All right, I'm gonna mute the commercials. Please, guys, send in your comments and whatnot. Let's see what everybody is talking about. Let me check to see if there's any updates. However, we did check a while ago, and there weren't really any updates. And it doesn't seem like there are any updates right at this moment. Let's see. Nope, there are no current new updates on the releases as of right now. So everything is still as is. But let's see what everyone's saying though. Let's see what people are saying. Let's see. We got what do we got here? We got Pokeman271. It says, "Hey Denise, how are you? I'm good. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream." And we got Dan Leckby Jr. who says Zelina is so very cool. Who else do we got in here? We got Tracy WV here who says the show's pretty good. I just think the focus was diverted. The show's been like it's been because even now, like we have already talked about the releases like at the top of the show, and for the majority of the last hour and a half we've been focused on SmackDown, and nothing of like note has honestly happened. So there's not that much, and we've been focusing on SmackDown already for the most part of this. Let's see what else we got here. We got John here who says, "Don't be surprised if you see Shayna start promoting blood sport shows under Josh Barnett. She was talking about having a wrestling show at her wedding, dude. I mean, there's other opportunities to be had. She's got connections. She knows people." Let's see. Colin Wolf says, "Oh my goodness, the rumors are true. Denise be blushing when Jacob's on screen. Hey, it's my AI husband, Let's see. We got. Let's see what everyone else is saying here. Let's see. Yeah, Luis Arturo says today was a weird day. I agree. Let's see. Big G says, "Are they still going to do the crown jewel title now that it's in Perth and not in Saudi Arabia?" Probably, because it's the crown jewel title. It's named after the show. Like, even though it's, for them, I think they still probably are going to do it. Jake Bailey says, "Was the U.S. Fatal 4-Way for Backlash?" Yes, it's going to be for Backlash. And RT says the matches haven't been bad. Yeah, you're right about that. The match with Fractium and Pretty Deadly was probably the best of the night so far. Gannibal says, "What's your grade for the show?" So far right now, like a C. We also got James Satella here who sends in a super sticker. James, thank you so much for the super sticker. Very cool of you. And let's see what else we got here. Oh, shit. Brad the Nerd says they kept the belts in Saudi, though. So are they going to keep those belts in Perth? Forgot that they kept the belts in Saudi. I think the belts are part of their like WWE world that they have out there. I forgot what they call it. They call it like the Superstore over there, I think, or I forgot if they call it the World over there or Superstore or Experience. One of those, right? But they have like the WWE place, and they have the Crown Jewel Championships there. So yeah, they're very shiny, very very shiny. Daniel, thank you so much for the kind comment. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm trying to create more videos as I go. So really, really trying. So thank you so much, Daniel. Actually, now's a really good time. Just an FYI, everyone. So one of the things that I need to really work on a lot more is honestly promoting the audio side of my podcast. I just found out today that not a lot of people realize that I post the audio of my podcast up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So I want to use this second to let you guys know, if you haven't already, please go to Spotify and search Instinct Culture by Denise Salcedo and give it a follow. If you prefer to listen to podcasts instead of watching a podcast, please follow it up. And even if you're not even planning, just go and follow. You never know. You might go and check it out. But I need to work on promoting this a lot more. So you're going to be hearing me promote on my podcast a lot more. So the audio version, of course, because primarily I've just been promoting YouTube, and I need to not do that. I need to also promote the podcast. So please, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you listen to podcasts, head on over there. Instinct Culture by Denise Salcedo.
John Cena and Wade.
Thank you so much, Luis. He says I follow on both. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. John says great to catch up on reviews the following day. That's a fact. That's a fact. David Primero says I rate the show an F after the releases. Hey man, I don't blame you. I do not blame you on that. Oh, there's the graphic for the Fatal 4-Way United States Championship match. That should be fun, honestly. It should be a fun match, and it's a great way for Jacob Fatu to retain. I wonder who's gonna take the pin. I think it's gonna probably be I'm gonna guess Damien or LA Knight's taking the pin. It should not be Drew McIntyre, by the way. Thank you, Lewis. The WWE experience it is in Saudi Arabia. We got Robert. What's up, Robert? Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Mike Centeni, thank you so much for supporting on YouTube. Regardless, I'm still very thankful for that. By the way, if any of you guys follow, like screenshot it, tag me, look at that stuff since I'm on promo mode right now.
When John Cena said that at Backlash,
We got Creighton Robs here. Says weird. Push a Fatal 4-Way and Drew nowhere to be found on tonight's show. No, but he was all over last week's show.
History books.
After Backlash, when you fail, you will have no excuses.
Melissa Cabello says, Denise, are you live streaming AEW Collision? Yes, I am. I will be here tomorrow live streaming Collision. It's the only Collision I'm live streaming this month, so don't miss out. This is the one. This is the only Collision I'm watching this month because I got plans the rest of the Saturdays. So don't miss out. This is the once in a May opportunity.
Begins. These two clash 1 week.
We got David Capelin. David, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, Denise, back in the day when you were doing your Taylor Swift ranking videos, did you think you would be where you are now? Very happy for you. Thank you, David, for watching those videos. My channel was totally different back then. I was posting different types of content. And no, I did not think where I would be at right now. No way. No way. Not even a little bit. I did not think about like how the channel would grow or I hoped for it, but to be honest, it seemed kind of impossible. But I did hope for it, and I just thought, well, do the best you can and see where it goes. And so that's kind of been like the motto now: just do the best you can and see where it goes. Thank you, David. We got Corey MacArthur here who says DWO crew dumbest AW Collision watch along. Yes, like I said, I haven't done a Collision watch along all year, and this is the only one that's happening in May, so it's a rarity. It's a rarity, guys.
That iconic image of
Thank you, Corey.
The 14th time
Jake Bailey says, Denise, who do you think Gunther feuds with after Pat? Ooh, great question. I'm still waiting for him to feud with Ludwig Kaiser. So that's going to be my answer right now. Ludwig Kaiser. I've been waiting for that for a while.
And now he's got the opportunity.
What's up, young J Nice? We got Ben Fossey. We got Larice Johnson. Thanks so much for tuning in.
The Undisputed Championship. He's out to get it in 8 days.
All right, let's hope for something good from this segment. Reminder, he's facing John Cena at Backlash. Bob Ross Jr. said that it's crazy to think that I think Jacob Fatu US's title reign will be like Gunther's 666-day IC title reign. Dude, I hope you're right, man. Honestly, I really hope you're right because I love Fatu. So I kind of want him to like hold the title for that long because after that, I want to see him like go off and like, you know, get into the championship scene. I think it would be really cool to see him do something like what Gunther did. Thank you, Bob.
Welcome to Friday Night SmackDown.
Jake Bailey says, I like that if Ilya was healthy. I'd love that too. Same. I would love for them to run back Gunther and Ilya. All right, but let's see what Randy has to say.
John Cena. While the world couldn't see him, I could. It took about 20 years for all you to realize exactly what kind of man he is, but I knew from day one.
Oh, damn. He knew John Cena was a heel.
He's arrogant, selfish,
wait, we're finally getting Cena sucks chance. Everybody was always like going back and forth.
He is an entitled brat that gets whatever he wants. John Cena is the ultimate shiny new toy to be played with by the ultimate puppet master. John, I gotta hand it to you, man. You're smart. You took advantage of the PG era. Oh boy, did you ever take advantage of the PG era. You were willing and quite frankly eager to be a real life, walking, talking cartoon character.
He did do like Nickelodeon appearances and things like that.
Everything that I could to be true to who I am. He didn't care about the boys in the back. He didn't care about all of you. All that John cared about, all that he cares about is his bottom line, which has brought him fame. It has brought him fortune. It has brought him right into the mainstream. It has enabled John Cena to make sure that every single month he has a brand new colored t-shirt come out to the merch stands along with headband, hat, neckband, waistband, armband, wristband, jorts. I mean, I think there's sneakers, dog tags, and a little towel that says never give up. Anything he can squeeze his name onto, he's going to put at the merch stand so that all you kids go and grab it up. He wants to make sure that you love him even more than you already do.
I mean, isn't that like every celebrity ever, though? Like, am I wrong or am I right?
Last week on SmackDown, John said the reason why he never had kids, the reason why he never raised a family himself was because he was busy raising all of your kids. John, the only thing that you have raised is the price of your merchandise, which the actual parents have to work a double and able to afford.
But, okay, guys, but like the WWE tickets in general are hella expensive. So this isn't just a John Cena thing. This is the WWE thing.
Soul
Randy,
isn't exactly a new concept, is it, John? You've been doing that for 20 years. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Am I right?
Jake Bailey says, "Does WWE not set the merchandise price?" Exactly.
Hustle all day.
Exactly.
But the loyalty, the respect, what happened to the loyalty and the respect, John? Let me be clear why I'm asking specifically about the loyalty and the respect. Because last week, you stood in this ring, looked me dead in the eye, and you said you were going to erase the Orton name from the history books. You said, as you stood in this ring and looked me square in the eyes, that you were going to erase everything that my family did in this industry. And I'm going to tell you right now, you are not, and you will not, over my dead freaking body.
I believe it. Randy turned red saying that.
You are the last real champion. Nah, John, you are the latest legend that I have to put down.
And kill.
And I'm gonna do so a week from tomorrow, Saturday, Backlash, my hometown, in front of my wife, my family, my kids, my friends, in front of the future generation of Ortons, in front of the future Orton legacy. I am going to punt kick you so hard in that Lego-shaped head.
Lego-shaped head.
It's gonna fly right off your shoulders and through the gateway arch. But not before I drop your ass with the 3 most dangerous letters in sports entertainment. R.K.
Sick Boy says Lego-shaped head was priceless. Yeah, but overall, for the most part, it was kind of like Randy pretty much reiterated like everything we had already heard the week before. So, but then again, this always happens, guys, because John Cena can't be at every show. He leaves whoever he's facing, like kind of saying the same things every week. You know what I'm saying? Like that happened with Cody Rhodes, and now it's happening with Randy, where like there's only so much to say when the other person isn't there. So I feel like the same thing that happened to Cody is currently happening right now with Randy, kind of going out there and trying to think of something new to add. And then really until John comes back is when we start to progress the story. All right, let's see what we got here from Naomi.
You and I need to get on the same page. I'm going to forget what you said to me out there, but my eyes are set on gold and Two-Face Tiffy. So as long as you figure out whatever you have to do with Jade and stay out of my way, we'll be good.
Sure.
All right, let's see what we got next. Oh, okay, this match I was looking forward to. Tanner Blakely says Orton's promos are always on point. Yeah, man, he's been killing it lately.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first.
I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just fucking around now. I'm just fucking around. Leo Poroy says, quick question, Denise. How many hours a week do you spend in wrestling? Like working? Or watching?
Ray Phoenix.
Working or watching?
Has built up.
Let me know.
Such a
Don says Denise is getting into the groove. Yo, I know. I'm trying to, guys. Like, there hasn't been anything too crazy on this SmackDown. Like, everything we talked about that was massive is the news outside of SmackDown.
Right to Santos
David Primero says
Escobar.
Cena will be 18-time champ when he wins at Crown Jewel. I'm like, I don't think they count the Crown Jewel Championship. Do they? I don't think they counts the crown jewel championship. Okay. That thought scared my sneeze away. Leo Porter says both. Oh, I don't even want to answer that question, to be honest, Leo. I feel like if I answer that question, you guys are gonna be like, Denise, get a fucking life. Well, let me see. I start my day. I usually wake up at like 8-ish, like 8 a.m. You genuinely, unless I have something like, by the way, we're on a commercial break. Unless I have something really pressing that's early in the morning, I usually wake up like around 8:30, and I have breakfast and I get ready for the day. I'm usually sitting at my desk by about like 9:30, 9:45. So let's just say 10. Let's just say 10. And then I'll start at 10. And then after the shows, for example, like Raw and SmackDown, they end at what, 8 o'clock? So I'll be here through 8 o'clock. And then afterwards, I do the post show that ends at 9. And then afterwards, I upload clips and I upload the podcast and from the video and the audio. That usually takes about like 30 minutes or so. Unless I have like breaking news stuff, then it'll extend the day. But for the most part, that'll be done around like 9:30, 9:45, depending on how much clips I have to cut, or if I'm not cutting clips that day or whatever. So let's just say 9:30. So 10 to 9:30 is my average schedule, unless something crazy happens at night or something crazy happens in the morning. And then Saturdays and Sundays, again, it depends on if there's a pay-per-view. Saturdays, I usually just wake up at like 4 and 4:30, excuse me. My alarm starts ringing at 4, but I get up at 4:30, 4:45. If I'm being incredibly lazy, I'll wake up at 5. And then I'm sitting down in my chair at my desk ready by 5:50 to do Busted Open. And then I do Busted Open from 6 to 9. And then afterwards, it really just depends on like what's going on that day. Like Saturdays are pretty different. It really just depends. Like either I have a video to work on, or maybe I got lucky and I got ahead of schedule and I don't have a video to work on. But usually for me, Saturdays, unless there's a pay-per-view, I try to relax on Saturdays. Same for Sundays. And then Thursday evenings are usually the days where I catch up, or it's the days that I go out to have dinner with like a friend or something. So usually Thursdays are my light days, where I'll like stop working around like 5 or 6, and then I'll just enjoy the rest of the evening to go do something or run some errands or catch up if I have to catch up on something. But lately I don't like to work Thursday nights. Honestly, Thursday nights, I'm like not in the mood to work at all. So I don't really count Thursday nights at all. Leo Poroy, thank you so much for asking. I hope that's kind of a good question, good answer. We got Corey MacArthur here who says, by the way, Denise's hair is on point. Yeah, so I'm not sure how many of you guys have heard of the Dyson. I've been wanting to get a Dyson. I do not have a Dyson because it's $600, so that's not going to happen. But yesterday I was having such a big conversation about the freaking Dyson with my friend that it inspired me to wake up early and curled my hair. But I curled it with my regular curler, not with the Dyson, because that shit is expensive. So it ain't gonna happen. So we'll see when that eventually does happen. But Corey, thank you so much for the compliment.
On June 7th. Los Angeles hosts 2 epic
events.
Yeah,
the shows. I'm thinking about going to that.
WWE
I don't think I'm going to watch along. I think I'm actually going to go. I think I'm actually going to go to the show. John says your husband must love that 4:30 alarm on Saturday. So I sleep Friday nights in the living room because I love my couch, and I struggle to wake up in the mornings when I'm getting out from my bed. When I sleep on the couch on Friday nights, it is so much easier for me to wake up in the mornings. I can't explain it. Like, I wake up with more like energy. When I'm in bed, I take forever to get my ass out. By the way, so right now they're showing US Bank. So before a couple years ago, I don't know if they still have it, but where you guys saw that US Bank Tower right there in downtown LA, they have I don't think it's still there, but there's like a glass slide. And it's super high up, and then you get to slide in the glass. It's very fun. And it's like super, like way up.
You got no chance.
Oh, there's R-Truth and Randy.
my childhood hero, John Cena, is going to beat Randy Orton.
Why would you say that?
Because it's true. I said what I said, dog.
Right.
You know what's
Hey,
going to happen.
You know how you get down.
I do.
I got you. I'll talk to you.
I know.
Mean what I said, dog.
Man, Stop. Ooze, you keep on talking this, he gonna punch your head clean off your shoulders, Ooze.
That is true.
I'm not playing around. What John Cena told me that. You know what else he told me?
What he said?
He is the last real champ. He wouldn't lie to me.
You need to stop.
All right, we got about like 47 minutes left of SmackDown here today. Sarah says $600 was it made out of gold? I don't really know, but the Absurd Spoonful also says that she wants a Dyson so bad. So the Dyson, this is why it's cool. So like, let's just say that this is the hair curler. So you know how normally you have to like curl the hair and then you stand there for however long and you wait until it heats up. Then you drop the curl and you go to the next one. With the Dyson, it just like you put it on your hair and it sucks up your hair and it curls it and bam, the curl is done. It like looks incredible and it makes your curls look like perfect. So that is why I want a Dyson. But they're just like ridiculously expensive.
And his opponent, representing Legado del Fantasma.
So yeah, I'm with you. And then there's an alternative. Let's see. Yeah, look, Ron here says, FYI, Dyson Airwrap, a high-end styling device that can curl, wave, smooth, and dry hair without extreme heat, an aerodynamic phenomenon that wraps hair around the barrel using hair. Ron, you're like up to date, like on Dyson. Damn, that was quick. But yes, that's exactly what it is, and I want one. I definitely want one. There's another one that's cheaper. It's called the Shark, and that one's $300. The Shark is essentially like the cheaper version of the Dyson, supposedly. And I've heard good things about the Shark. So, I don't know. Maybe the Shark will be a possibility. Maybe it won't. Brian Power says, I thought Dyson was a vacuum cleaner. I did too. It's the same company. The same company creates the vacuum cleaner and the hair styler. It's insane. Like, good for them, because I'm sure they're making bank, man. Like, I'm really sure they're making bank.
That loss, and now I guess it's going to be punishment time.
Yeah, saying basically, you're so right though with the early reception that Rey Fénix was given by Santos Escobar, almost as if he was trying to recruit.
All right, here we go. I was looking forward to this match.
So
he's interested in everything he was doing.
And these two have a fair bit of history. They have competed together many times in North America, the entire continent, including mainly in AAA, the newly acquired Mexican company south of the border. So they have a healthy professional respect for one another, but they've certainly never been bros or anything like that. I think Santos Escobar's attempts to bring Rey Fénix into the fold has fallen on deaf ears. And now the Emperor of Lucha Libre is looking to teach him a lesson.
You mentioned the newly acquired AAA, and that is the focus of what we were just describing with what's happening on June 7th with Worlds Collide, NXT, and the newly acquired Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide. That is going to be June 7th.
I should be the boss.
Money in the Bank is also that day.
Is that good?
Well, there's your response, Santos.
Santos suggested he should be the boss. Did not impress Rey Fénix. However, that might change your mind.
Back and forth, towing the line.
Do you guys think Joe Tessitore needs more energy?
Listen to that.
Or do you like his, like, chill energy? More energy or
Kiss to the heavens
stay as is?
and testing each other.
Now listen to
And that
me,
puts
kid.
down Fénix.
Listen to me. I should be the boss. You follow the orders, and we take over this place. Me and you together.
Austin here says, puts me to sleep. Jake says more, probably. Ultimate here says, probably needs a C4 drink. Corey loves Joe as is. Bryn says just like this. There's times where I feel like I think there could be a little bit more excitement because right now I noticed that like there was a moment where like the crowd was dead, commentary was dead, and I'm like, oh, yo, it is silent up in here. It sounds like
here they go.
Okay.
And this is what we're used to from Phoenix, as Escobar says, not now. Oh.
And so it just got me thinking, like, suddenly I noticed it. Like, I really never noticed it. Some people started bringing it up a couple weeks ago, and then I really noticed it right now. This is the day that I noticed it the most.
But if you want to be the spearhead, you got to start.
Because I like that he's not over exaggerated. Like, I don't like that when people are just like screaming just for the sake of screaming. But I also sometimes need just a little bit more enthusiasm. Ooh, nice.
Name for it, but immediately hot off the block.
Hey, what's up, Joshua Bones? Thank you so much for tuning in. We got one LT photo. We got Stardust Estero, who says, I like Joe's commentary. Yeah, his commentary is good. Like his analysis and stuff like that. Like, that's all good.
Heated conversations continue.
We got Uncle Donk here. What's up, Uncle Donk? He says, post-Mania roster cut started today. WWE allegedly took home $40 million at the gate. How will Triple H justify this round of cost-cutting in WWE's next financial calls? Well, that I can't tell you how he's going to justify it. I think it's just how they've been justifying it, which is just like, oh, it's a business decision.
Lining up that target.
And that's what it's going to come down to, I imagine.
There goes Escobar.
I don't think they're used to it already. Like, how many rounds at this point of releases hasn't there been? There's been so many. Like, at this point, they're just like, just used to it. That's what I think. But, yeah, man, I mean, they're making a lot of money. And so it is sad to see those people, like, you know, not continue their dream, as well as not getting to have those paychecks anymore. So it is very, very unfortunate. Thank you, Uncle Donk.
WrestleMania wouldn't have been that way. It wouldn't have embarrassed himself the way Escobar frames it, which is, of course,
Cocaine says I've been on the Tessa's boring hate train on him, but I did notice it today, because I just thought it got kind of awkward when everything at the exact same time got silent. I wasn't saying anything. Commentary wasn't saying anything. The audience wasn't saying anything. I was like, oh, wait, everyone just fell asleep at the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want people to fall asleep at the wheel. Even me. I wasn't even saying anything.
Santos to replace him once he got injured.
It's so funny.
Santos Escobar letting the world know that it is he who runs the bingo.
Yo, Santos.
Santos Escobar driving those knees.
He's just taking his time.
Well, let me ask you this, Joe. Yes. What we see, 3 or 4 matches of Rey Fenix so far.
Let's see what we got here. Joe Montez says Morrow was great. I know Morrow. I loved Morrow. Morrow was one of my favorites, but I know that for a lot of people, like, they didn't love Morrow. Everyone kind of has different tastes on them. Some people felt like Morrow was too much. I liked Morrow. I thought he was very creative with the things he would say, and that's what I appreciated about Morrow. I thought he was creative, and I felt like he really did like what he was talking about, you know? Like, you could feel his passion in his commentary, and that's why I enjoyed him. It's the same thing with Pat McAfee. I know a lot of people don't like Pat McAfee. I like Pat McAfee. I like Pat McAfee because I think he's funny. And because I feel like he's like a friend. He doesn't feel like a broadcaster. He feels like a friend. So I kind of like that too, which is crazy because you would think I would like the person that sounds most like a broadcaster, but no, I kind of like the friend vibe from Pat.
Santos Escobar has been far from impressed with his teammates in Legado del Fantasma.
We got David here who says, Denise, are you going to Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide? These packages are pricey.
No Berto, no Angel.
Isn't the pre-sale on the 7th? I haven't looked at the ticket prices for Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide, which, by the way, I'm doing ticket giveaways for SummerSlam on Instagram and YouTube. Please enter those because yeah, please enter those. You never know, you might win. That's over on my Instagram page as well as here on the YouTube channel.
Is currently doing to Ray Phoenix. And Santos has barely broken sweat.
But yeah, I gotta look at those prices, David. I don't know what the prices are for that. If it's like ridiculous, David says cheapest he saw was $350
Santos Escobar
for the nosebleeds, David.
To neutralize.
Are we talking date? Are we talking nosebleeds or what?
Wells Fargo Arena from a massive crowd in Des Moines, Iowa. Here on Friday Night Smackdown, we're just 8 days away from WWE Backlash.
Yes.
Randy Orton and John Cena will meet up for the Undisputed Championship.
I'm gonna have to pull this up at some point during the show, during the commercial break. I'll pull it up.
To look completely ordinary by this performance from Santos Escobar, who has a point to prove this evening to the world of Lucha Libre.
What?
This is nothing like.
Oh wait, sorry guys, I can't tune into Ticketmaster right now because I'm on the VPN. And so Ticketmaster is not letting me go into Ticketmaster is not letting me go into it right now because my VPN is on. So they paused me. They think I'm like a bot or something.
If Ray Phoenix has got more than 3 shots in this entire bout, that's 4.
Remember, Santos was so critical of Ray Phoenix in his performance at WrestleMania when he was the late replacement for Rey Mysterio. Took the loss against El Grande Americano. Phoenix telling Santos in not so many words, hey, you got a problem with how I handle my business in the ring? Why don't we meet up in the ring? And that is how this match was born.
And Ray Phoenix might be starting to regret that as he finally launches some form of offense. But can he start heading through those gears and getting to that top speed that we've all been blown away by over the past few weeks?
That is when he's at his best, just like this.
Oh, dang, that was nice.
Ray Phoenix.
Ray.
And the kick out at 2 and change from Escobar.
What's up, dude? Arcade Shuttleworth. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks, Maxwell says it seems to be dragging on today. I'm gonna be honest, this is like not one of my favorite Smackdowns. I mean, I'm saying this as this match is finally starting to get its rhythm, but I haven't loved today's show. Today's show has been a it's been a mission to get through today's show, honestly. Like, it's been a mission.
Escobar saying that top roll should be mine. So many heated exchanges when they were face to face to open this match, and now the wear and tear deep into it. Escobar able to get out of the way. Phoenix attacks at different levels. Oh, what
damn!
A big
oh
knee.
yeah, oh, nice. I did like that. Okay, good. Wake me up, please. I'm falling asleep. Let's go. That was good.
What a spectacular setting here in Des Moines, Iowa.
Ron Stahlcup says 30 more minutes to go. We got this, guys. We got this. John says, Denise, want me to turn on the showmanship and entertain these people? Go right ahead, guys. We got any fun acts? Throw them in the chat or something, because, like, you know, it's like wild.
That sudden burst of adrenaline from
we got Saeed Dead Super who says Penta has fit into WWE much better than Ray. I just think they made Penta's debut more exciting. I think they've kind of had Phoenix with like just whatever. But I think Phoenix, and I've said this before, I think Phoenix is the better wrestler. But I don't know. I think Penta's debut just had more buzz, I think, than Phoenix did. But I love Ray Phoenix, so I'm on board. I'm ready to continue seeing him grow on the show.
Phoenix has eaten a couple of those huge knees tonight.
The level of respect that Santos has for Ray Phoenix. You know you have to hit Phoenix.
David Montalvo says Penta's full of charisma. After 2000 says Phoenix is the better wrestler. He is. He's so good. But like I said, I just think there was more fanfare for Penta because he was like the first one in there, you know.
As I've seen Santos Escobar in a long time, something has lit a fire under the Emperor of Lucha Libre.
I just also feel like Phoenix's style, like Phoenix shines really bright when like he can just go. You know what I'm saying? When he can just go. Like these slow-paced matches are not really it for him. He thrives more in
Again,
fast-paced
Phoenix
action.
fighting his way free and follows
And
up
being in there
with a
with a
drop kick.
fast-paced action
And
guy.
now
Like, see,
quick
like,
to
because
the
all
top
of that, look
rope.
at that, look at that,
Looking
incredible.
for
Like, look at
Adios
the way he runs, like, walks the
Connected with
ropes.
the back of the head
It's
of
incredible.
Santos Escobar just when Escobar
So
looked to be
that's
ducking
where
out of
he
the way.
shines the most.
Top rope Meteora. What impact by Ray.
There you go. Nice win for Ray. But I think had they like trimmed this match down and just did all of their big spots, this would have been much more like enjoyable. I think they stalled a lot in this match, guys. Like I felt like they were trying to kill time purposely here, and that's how I felt. There were some cool moments in there, but I just felt like they were. I felt like they were just taking their time too much.
But really, it was this top rope Meteora to a kneeling opponent that did the damage. The flight of the Phoenix continues here on the Blue Brand.
You say a different kind of fight. Sometimes you just have to dig deep. You have to make it just a fight. He did that well.
I get it. And I know Nia. I know her strengths. I know
Oh yeah, I
Excuse
forgot
me,
this match was
Tiffany,
happening
Jade,
too.
I do apologize for
Oh my gosh, Byron.
Tonight's main event. the
That
both of you are
purple
teaming up for
suit
the very
is
first time.
so flashy.
And you're also taking on two individuals who you've got some really deep-rooted issues with. How well do you think you guys are going to fare?
Listen, Byron, I get it. If I were Nia, I wouldn't be over me either. But eventually she's going to have to learn that this title belongs around my pretty little shoulders. And as for Jade, as long as she stays out of my way.
Oh my gosh, can they
we won't have a
coexist?
problem.
Or you stay out of mine. And anyway, I'll be focusing on Naomi, seeing how she to get enough of these hands at WrestleMania. But I spoke to Nick Aldis, and I'll be facing Nia Jax next week in a #1 contenders match.
Oh, okay.
For your title.
So
yeah.
Nia Jax and
Hell
Jade.
yeah.
Oh, I think
That's
Nia
funny,
Jax is taking that.
considering last
I
week
think they're gonna do
almost
Nia
had
Jax
you
and
beat.
Tiffany.
But that's fine. You can go ahead and you can beat Nia Jax. I'll just have to do it all over again. Toodles.
Like even though I think the people are more interested in seeing Jade and Tiffany, I think they'll do Nia and Tiffany though. Because I mean, she did the back behind, she did the attack from behind. Like, you know, I think they can. I think they can get that going. So we'll see. Hey, Bailey says, "Where's Alexa been?" It's a great question. No idea. I think we're still waiting for stuff to happen with the Wyatt Six.
And it's the
But
TLC match
yeah,
that
man,
has set
it's
the
not.
standard. With a tip of
I
the
don't know.
cap to
I'm not
so
feeling
many
so
greats from the
confident
past.
about.
But it's time
I'm
to
not feeling
celebrate
confident
the
at
current
all about what they're
things
doing with
of
that.
TLC. And look back
Like
with
legit, do not
perspective
feel comfortable
at
at all.
Historic match on SmackDown when we return.
All right, we are on a commercial break, everybody, and there's 30 minutes of SmackDown left. We can do this. I'm actually excited for the main event because it's the women, and I actually like them like a lot. So, like the people in it. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm hoping it'll be fun. I mean, I want to see what the dynamics between Jade and Tiffany are together. But yeah, this one's been a little bit rough, guys. It's been just a tad bit rough. So hopefully we get a nice main event here today. Let's see what else we got here. We got Young Jay Nice who says Tiffy time seems big time now and all grown up. You know what this reminds me of? Stephanie McMahon's theme song. I'm all grown up. Yeah, now I listen and learn. Something, something. Finally getting my turn. Something, something. Wait, is that her song? Whose song is that? That's Stephanie's song, right? I'm all grown up, right? I'm all grown up. Yeah, listen and learn. True story. I'm finally getting my turn. So just, I don't know. I don't remember the rest of the words, but why am I talking about this? Thank you, Young Jay Nice. Tiger Claw Gaming says a tad bit rough. It's been awful. Tiger Claw, you can say it's been awful. If I come out here and say it's been awful, trust me, it's not going to be pretty for me. Let's see. Aztec 2000 says, there you go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Let's see. RK Shuttleworth says Santos trying to get every Mexican wrestler to follow him is getting a bit tired as a storyline. Yo, you're right. They have been doing that. They always do that with the Mexican talent. They're like, you guys all stick together. They don't let them branch out. It sucks, but they've been doing it forever. Trey, what's up, Trey? Thank you so much. Everyone liked my singing. Thank you very much. I take it that you guys like my singing if you sent in the laughing emoji face. Big Time Baxter says, Denise, do you think Fallon and JC will find more success as singles or tag team? Singles. I've been saying that Fallon should not be in a group. I think Fallon should be on her own. I think Fallon should be on her own, like for a fact. All right, let's see. Thank you, Shane. He's like, yeah, that was Steph. I knew it, guys. I was an anthology, WWF anthology. No, I think they were WWE already. I was a WWE anthology girl, all right? If anybody here had the anthology 3-disc CD, please let me know, because that was like on a loop with my Walkman. All I would do was listen to my anthology CDs, excuse me. Anthology CDs. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let me catch up. Yeah, JB from Georgia says, I'm all grown up now. Show this world how a woman takes on. I don't remember all of that, but yeah, I feel you. I feel you. Yes, I was trying to remember if it was Eve. Yes, Austin Wright says Eve did Stephanie's theme song. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. Hey, what's up, Christian Jordan? Thank you so much for tuning in. Nice to see you on here. Let's see. Thank you for the kind comment. I always love your emojis. Let's see. Ryan Sully had the anthology. JB had the anthology. Tiger Claude says not the anthology. Oh man. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got the Tyler Hahn here. Since I had it and still had it, the WWF Volume 5. Okay, so I love Volume 5 because Volume 5 has The Rock's Pie song. I know that song by heart. Like every time I hear the Pie song, like I can sing along to it. I know the words. Volume 5 was actually the first WWE CD that I ever got. And then afterwards, my uncle went and bought me the Volume 4. But I actually got the Volume 5 first and then got the Volume 4. So I had Volume 4, Volume 5, Anthology, and then I had Forcible Entry. And I think that was it, though. I never got the originals. I never did the originals. And then after that, there was just really no point in buying a CD anymore. After that, I had already gone on to a different era. But yo, I was living when I had my Volume 5 on my Walkman and my anthology on my Walkman. That's when life was good. You know what else I had? And this is going to date me. But I had, and I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't even remember what they were called. But they used to sell VHSs with the WWE Titantrons and the theme songs. And all it was you would play it, and you would get all of the theme songs in that volume with the Titantron in a VHS. Used to have that. Oh, I used to love it. I used to pop it into my living room TV, and I used to dance to all of the songs. Man, those were good days. Those were good times. I can't. We don't do that no more. Like those days are dead and gone. Thank you, the Tyler Hahn. All right, let's see what else we got here. What's up, Lynette? Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. We kind of covered all the release stuff in the beginning, guys. So if you want to rewind to that, you're more than welcome to. Let's see what else we got here. Thank you, Sick Boy, Addie Carver, Seth I. Roth. Good to see you.
Classic.
Oh God, no, guys! I just get out here. Sorry, I just got a text from my husband saying that he popped into my stream and is making fun of me because he decided to tune in right at the part where I was talking about how I used to listen to wrestling theme songs. If you're still here, get out of it. Get out of the stream. Go back to work. Go back to work. Or wait, is he here? No, he's here.
Yep. You just told us yet. Santos,
So confused. All right.
What's your problem now? What's your problem? Watch your words. Watch your words, brother. Okay, Santos. You know what? What? I know you don't care about the Garza. And my problem, I don't like you. I know you was talking about legacy, respect.
See, I told you. They put them all together. Savage.
Legacy. You don't have respect. You don't have honor. No. Okay.
What are you laughing
You
at?
have.
Huh? Let's go. Let's get out of here. I said, let's
Wait,
go.
is Humberto tempted to align with Andrade? Bro, they've been doing the same thing with Andrade every
That
single
after
week.
the loss to Ray
It's
Phoenix
getting
with
wild in
Santos
there.
Escobar. Hey, next week,
John Cena returns to
Cena
SmackDown next
makes
week.
his return
Nice.
to Dayton, Ohio. We will hear from him.
Let me
the
see.
night before
Copeland had
Backlash.
Ruthless
Defense
Aggression. Aggression was the best WWF CD ever. I never had that one. Aggression. I never had that one. I didn't have Volume 3 either. Big G. John says I'm a Volume 4 guy. The green one. That's the one I had. The green one. Volume 4.
Next week in Dayton, Ohio. They've got
Next Friday, they're doing a tag team match. LA Knight and Damian Priest
against the vicious
Jacob
Solo
Fatu and
Sikoa.
Solo
Jacob
Sikoa.
Fatu.
Big G says I loved Forcible Entry. Forcible Entry was the best one. Like I still listen to that to this day. I don't like that they don't have all the songs though on Spotify, which is where I normally listen to music. So when I want to listen to Forcible Entry, I have to go find the playlist on YouTube, which I kind of hate because I like to listen to my music on Spotify. But yeah, no, Forcible Entry is like literally the best. Tyler Hahn here says, same was my first CD and the Scorpion King soundtrack and Forcible Entry. The Scorpion King soundtrack
is coming.
I mean, I watched the Scorpion King, but I don't remember the songs. It's funny. John says, only 2 CDs I legit thought was Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again in WWE Volume 4, downloaded everything else. This is funny as hell, John, because the first CD that like I ever bought, like with my own money, well, like the money my family, like my mom gave me, I wasn't working obviously, was Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. Same thing, bought the same album. And I remember walking home and like holding in my hands and just being so excited that this is the first CD I bought with my own money, in quotations, own money. Oh, I was so excited. I was a big time Britney Spears fan back in the day.
Main event coming your way.
All right, we are going to a commercial break, and let me see. I'm going to go through some more comments. Actually, let me see what they're promoting for Monday's Raw.
Breaker and Heyman deliver a message to the WWE Universe.
Okay, they have a message for the WWE Universe from Seth and Paul.
Only on Netflix.
That's it. That's all they promoted. Nothing else. All right, we're in a commercial break. Let me go through some more comments here. See what everyone's saying. Now that we've gotten into a totally different topic, we got Louise here who says, girl, I had an 8-track player in my car. I don't even know what that is, bro. I don't know. I'm not even going to ask questions. Let's see. Going through some more comments. We got Big Time Baxter who says, Denise, when it comes to NXT blowing out their knees, aside from Soruka, it's really tough injury to overcome because we've seen Cora and Gigi and Nikita all change their styles because of it. Oh yeah, 100%. I've talked about this like in depth. Like it's definitely a game changer. I was worried there for a second for Soruka. I didn't know if she was going to be able to go back to it, but she's a gymnast, so I think that's why things were a little bit different for her versus like Gigi and Cora and Nikita, who aren't necessarily gymnasts. So I wonder if that, like, you know, being an athlete in a different perspective, if it changed it. Absurd Spoonful says Rikishi's put a little ass on it with a bop. I used to love, oh my God, guys, now all I want to do is go back and like listen to these songs. Do they have them on Spotify? WWF. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they have Volume 4. So Volume 4, Break Down the Walls, Chris Jericho, The Big Show's theme, No Chance in Hell, The Corporation, Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry. This is Test. Wreck Mankind, Stone Cold, D'Lo Brown's theme, Danger at the Door, Blood Brother Christian, Ass Man, Ministry. Oh, you know, I've always liked this version of the Undertaker song, the Ministry song. Oh, and you know which song I always really love too? My Time. Triple H and My Time. Oh, one of my favorite themes. On the Edge, Know Your Role. Today for the Four Horsemen, and then She Looks Good, Eve. And then Volume 5. Volume 5 is the shit. Volume 5 has Triple H's theme with the Motorhead, the game one, like his theme. They have K-Quick's Rowdy, If You Dare, Taz, It Just Feels Right, Lita, Out of the Fire, Kane, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, I've Got It All, Billy Gunn, What About Me, Raven, Who I Am, China, Metal, Kurt Angle, Bad Man, Rikishi, Turn It Up, Too Cool, and then Pie the Rock, Which Road, and then Written in My Face. Yo, I'm living right now. I'm living. I also found, well, I kind of have a bunch of these saved already on my phone, but also the anthology. Yeah. Which one was the volume 3? See, volume 3 looks like the shit too, actually, because they had Taker, Edge, X-Pac, Dude Love, Kane, The Rock, and Gangrel, Ken Shamrock, Oddities, DX, Sable, New Age Outlaw, Val Venus, Stone Cold, Just Don't Care Anymore, and Undertaker. See, this is like my era right here. Like, after all of these, like, I never listened to Aggression. Like, after that, I was kind of like over some of these songs. Like, I wasn't totally in love with these. All right. Thank you, Absurd Spoonful. All right, we're back on SmackDown.
Signs of the night, Wade. Oh, yeah. Bring your best.
See, also, shout out to Jaron Downey. Thanks so much for being in the chat.
What is promised next week at Backlash?
Don predicts that Humberto's turning soon.
We'll see about that. You're talking a big game.
Brendan Hawkins says I had volume 4 because of my hero, Kurt Angle.
Party ideas. No better place to spend your birthday than right here. Congratulations. We're having a big birthday party on SmackDown.
She's probably going to be a future wrestler.
Jade Cargill. Earlier tonight, she saw
Louis says Denise going back to her childhood. Yo, I feel like super nostalgia right now.
Little did we know we'd have a
Stun Stalker says the classic WWE hits with those. There's some really great classic hits, man. I was just telling, I don't remember who I was telling actually about this.
And her tag team partner.
Who was I telling? Was I telling the chat or was I telling Reg or was I? Who was I telling that? I liked that one song. All American Boys. All American Boys.
Retain the
that Jimmy Hart did.
That was impressive.
All American Boys.
But the longer this title run goes,
Is it
the heavier things get. And Nia
Yeah.
return to action.
It was the Fabulous Rougeau's theme song, the All American Boys, and I was just telling someone that I love this song.
You feel like it's going to be plain sailing.
Anyways, if you guys haven't heard it, I'm pretty sure most of you have, but if you haven't heard it, please take the time to I can't play it here on the stream, but you can find it on Spotify, the Federation Era, and it's just the All American Boys, the Fabulous Rougeau, and it's Jimmy Hart, J.J. McGuire. There you go. This is the good one. This is the good one. Addie Carver says, me and my sister love Volume 3. Jeff Al says that voice. Hey, I'm not a singer, okay? Oh, it's funny. Brad the Nerd says, I never cared for Aggression album, but I really liked Forcible Entry. Loved Forcible Entry, man. Oh, so good. My favorite, by the way, I've officially decided my favorite theme song ever of any pro wrestler ever is honestly Slow Chemical. Finger 11 for Kane. I'm sorry. That's just the best theme song in my opinion. I love that fucking song so much. Like that really gets me like pumped and going. Slow Chemical, that's my jam right there. That's my jam. And I have a lot of them, but that's numero uno. And it was hard to come up with that. Brad the Nerd says same. Super Pro says it's tippy time. Yeah, we're about to get into that. Naomi's making her entrance. Luis says you sing better than drunk people at karaoke. Gracias. All American Boys. Scrap. Now that's stuck in my head. Big G says I like this Fire Burns too. Oh, there's so many, man. Chris says I would always be upset when his entrance ended early and you wouldn't hear the chorus. Oh, for Slow Chemical. Yo, like play the whole damn song for me, please.
Personality change with Naomi is one thing. But the outfit
All right.
upgrade right
Dilla
in
Pickle says
top
it's going to be a
spot
short main
of the
event.
entire locker room, both men's
Yeah.
and women's sport.
Yeah.
Ring
Honestly,
gear,
I feel like a
entrance
lot of
attire,
nothing
Naomi
happened
is
for the last like
the
17
absolute
minutes, I
pinnacle
feel.
of that game. Wow.
I can't even tell you what happened the last 17 minutes.
Proceed with caution.
Brad the Nerd says, I always flash back to when Kane entered with a towel over his head to slow chemical, shackled and escorted by the police. It was like a horror movie. When he had like the little black, like smoky stains on his face.
This is one that warped the personality.
John says, what do you think of the
that
disturbed
Naomi
version
now
of Stone Cold
possesses? The
Steve?
nice girl, as she
Love
says,
it.
is gone for good.
Love it. Love it, love it,
2025
love it, love
Naomi
it.
is one highly volatile.
That's the one that goes,
woman, but throwing fists with Jade Cargill right off the bat.
Strap off to a mess for me versus whatever. You guys know which one I'm talking about. That's the one, right? That's the disturbed one.
First place.
I mean, is this a tag team match or is it just two separate fights at this point?
Well, listen, you know how much emotion runs.
Yeah, I love that song.
These two are the best of friends, side by side, and then the betrayal, and then the cash.
And Brad the Nerd says exactly. It sounds just like that.
Nia Jax.
Guys, I'm sorry. I don't feel like talking about SmackDown. I just want to go and listen to some jams. Honestly,
in the ring,
that's all I want to do is listen to theme songs right now. I'm in the mood.
Naomi.
I mean, were we ever expecting this to be a normal?
By the way, underrated theme song. Do not laugh. I bump this song all the time on my playlist. It's literally on my playlist. Like sometimes comes out of my shuffle.
You can have
The Great Khali's theme song. Don't ask questions. I love that song.
Free tag match. We're just going to see where this one goes. The 4 women in there apparently going to figure it out as they go along. And Jade Cargill's doing a pretty damn good job of figuring things out thus far.
All those months on the shelf, out injured because of the actions of Naomi, was Jade, and she now delivers that kick right to the midsection.
By the way, today's post show, I think it's just going to be focused on the releases and SmackDown highlights. Do not expect a ton of SmackDown conversation today on today's post show, because like, no thanks.
Is certainly not done with the Storm.
No, she is not. But
JB from GA says the original Khali song or the newer one?
She did not think that she would still
it's the Land of Great Rivers, I think, or the River of Great Lands.
Was going to be the resolution
one of those.
That happened in Vegas.
The Land of Five Rivers. I'm sorry.
Right to Big E and
it's this one, the Land of Five Rivers. This is the one. This song is so hella good. I don't care what anyone says. I dance along to the song all the time. It just had that like good vibe.
Oh, there was the
pump kick from Jade to a Naomi. Yeah, Latonia says Kofi Kingston's SOS. That one, like, bro, like, take me to the islands. I want to go and like be at the beach and be in have a little coconut drink. That one really gets you like in the mood to just go and do just like chill. All right, let me get that back up.
Jade Cargill. You know,
the Hyler Hunt says Jinder had a banger theme. I don't remember Jinder's theme. I have to hear it. Sucho here says, having massive Cody Rhodes withdrawals. I missed him, and it's only been 2 weeks already. But yeah, he needs to kind of take a second to be gone. I think we need to miss him. Like, the people need to miss him. So, and clearly it's working for Sucho already, but I think we need to miss Cody. We need to long for Cody. I could still use a few weeks, and then I think like 3rd, 4th week. No, ideally I would say like 5 to 6. Maybe that's a little too much for some people, but really let me like miss this person. I want him. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll be back at Backlash. I'm assuming Backlash, maybe. But yeah, I could still miss him a little bit more. Thank you, Sucho.
And adding a little sprinkle of salt from Nia Jax.
Young J9 says Jinder's themes was a banger. I don't remember his. Doesn't really stand out to me.
It's clear that Naomi and Nia Jax don't particularly like each other, but they have managed to get on the same page.
Aztec says Wolfpack, best theme ever. It's a great one.
Incredibly well for them.
D. Joser says the SummerSlam song.
Peace
If
agreement,
it's the
perhaps,
one
between
I
Naomi
think
and
you're
Nia
talking
Jax,
about,
at
then
least
yes, I
for the
agree.
duration of this match.
But I just don't remember which one. Hold on. I know which one. It's the was it the one when it was what's his face? Oh my gosh, Triple H and Shawn.
Right up against the face of Jade
Was
Cargill.
it that one?
Really, the difference between these four women, or at least these two teams, is the experience factor. Ooh. As great as Cargill and Tiffany Stratton are, they have nowhere near the kind of resumes that Nia Jax and Naomi do. And it's really been
Sorry,
showing in
I'm
the
assuming
early
you're talking
goings of
about this
match.
one. I think. I like the song.
This is
We're on a commercial break, by the way.
Opportunity for Cargill
But I'm leaving
Tiffany
the audio
Stratton,
on for
and
everybody.
unfortunately, it may
John
turn out
says
to be an
Fandango's theme was a
incredibly
good
painful
one. Da, 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 dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that one was good. Suja says Batista had a banger theme. Yeah, his was good. I like Batista's because his, you like felt like what I loved
the other
Batista's
thing with
entrance
Jade
when he would
Cargill,
go out there
her
and he would
power game is
go down and he
always
would
her
do
biggest
this.
advantage.
All the
That's
fireworks
completely out
would
the
come
window
out.
against
Like
Nia
you
Jax.
really felt hyped, bro. And you
saw it
would
on
see
display
like
in
muscles
Vegas.
popping out
Great
everywhere of
work against
Batista and he's
Naomi,
doing this. Oh yeah,
Nia's
that
a
was
much
great.
different
Great
story
stuff
as she
there.
tries to deliver that right hand to
Great
the body.
stuff.
Looks to fight back from the outside against Nia Jax.
Cargill's really
By the way, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're every Friday. I'm here chilling, watching SmackDown with everyone, just chatting, watching the show, and then afterwards, I generally do a post show. But I think today's show is mainly going to be about the releases. It is going to be about the releases, so that's going to be the big topic.
Now, Nia Jax
And I do that show with Robin, who will be logging in at around 8 o'clock.
But right now, as you see that
Jeff,
big
thus
form
demolition
coming
thing
up,
gets you
Tiffany
jacked.
Stratton. There's so
Ilya.
much emotion pouring
Therese
over
Johnson says The
match
Kings
and
by DX
Tiffany
and Run
Jade against
DMC.
Nia Jax and Naomi. Look at the
Good
power,
stuff, man.
but then collapsing down into the cover.
Okay, so everyone's saying that Oro Menza? Is Oro Menza done too? Damn. Hold on, let me look. Let me see what's going on.
Cargill is just too low after the beating she has received, and now the fresh and vicious Naomi back in there to punish her most hated rival.
Remember a week ago in the post-WrestleMania edition of SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill were
Oh,
going at
yes,
it.
I just
It
saw
ended in
Oro
no
Menza's
contest
post.
when Naomi
He says,
attacked Jade Cargill. That ended the match. And
sorry,
then
let me move
came
it over here. He
the
says,
stunning
15
arrival
years
of
hard work
Nia
and true
Jax,
sacrifice
who
to make it to
cleared house
WWE.
and beat down
Always
Tiffany
gave it my 110% and put my whole passion and body into the art form of pro wrestling. Thank you all for the support. Love ya. All right, so yeah, it looks like Oro Menza has also been released, guys.
To the WWE Women's
Another NXT guy, which is, again, what I'm saying with the NXT guys, it's interesting because NXT needs guys. Guys. Like, they need guys.
Tries to pull her back. Jade gets free. And it is
Austin says, do a collision watch along tomorrow. Be real. I am doing one, guys. It's the one and only collision for the month. So, for me at least. So, make sure you guys tune in if you want.
Nia Jax has just met the center of the universe, which for one night only is
Everyone gives me shit for not doing collision watch-alongs.
Women's champion has something
So,
to deliver. How about this? Crucifix pin attempt. So close was Tiffany.
Tiffany knows it.
yeah, I really need Tiffany to have that one-on with Nia so that she can finally get that big win back.
From Stratton, who turned a potential Samoan
RK Shuttleworth, yeah. They released Braun Strowman twice. But there's been people like that, guys. Like Samoa Joe got released twice. Like this has happened before.
Shape here. You see her reaching for her ribs, but in position for what could
AU
be.
Menza says Oro Menza was being featured, though. Not
feet.
really. He was like sporadically on the show.
And now, Nia. There is the Samoan drop.
A little extra stank on that one for Tiffany Stratton.
Thank you so much, Hustle Hard Podcast.
Oh,
I
and a
really
leg
thank you
drop.
for this kind comment.
And Nia
Thank
said,
you.
What in the world? That was a blind
John,
tag,
yeah,
and
Dakota
there's
getting
the
released twice. See?
fact that they are
Exactly,
not tag
exactly.
team teammates, and you can see her ordering her out. She was in position to close this.
Henry Cameron says we better show out for Denise tomorrow. I think Reg is going to join tomorrow too. So he was all talk about how he watches Collision every week and shitting on me for not watching Collision every week. So now his ass has to show up, or else it's a sense. It's a point of pride now. He has to show up just to prove a point.
Save the day as a fired up Jade Cargill comes in against her chief rival, Naomi.
It's superhero-like powers of recovery.
Jade has been getting so much better too. Like that's one of the things that like I feel like I haven't talked about enough is the improvements that we've been seeing from Jade. Like whatever she was doing while she was gone, it seems like she was maybe like, you know, working on those in-ring skills a little bit more, because I do feel like she looks far more confident in the ring now than she did at the start of her WWE. Oh my God, did she lick her face?
Begging for mercy, but instead choke slam.
She totally licked her face.
For the win, and Nia Jax comes in.
Yeah, she looks like more comfortable now than she did when she first started.
Her partner back into the corner. Remember what happened moments ago?
Yeah, commentary didn't even point that out, by the way. Not the lick. I was like, yo, am I seen? She totally licked this woman.
This thing could be over, but Tiffany's going up top. Oh, swanton to break it up. And Tiffany may have done damage to herself.
Well, what an insane breakup that was by Tiffany Stratton. And again, this one is completely broken down. Referee losing control. But who can blame him with these four giant personalities in that ring?
Tiffany and Naomi. Oh, and squashing both of them in the corner is Nia Jax, and pushing them both out of the ring.
Yeah, I'd say the tag team of Nia Jax and Naomi is officially over, but this match is ongoing as Jax closes in on what looks to be an imminent victory.
Julia says, do release superstars have a non-compete clause for months as well? Or does that only apply to wrestlers who didn't renew their contracts? They do have a non-compete clause. I think it's like 30 days for NXT talent. It's a few more for main roster talent. Thank you, Julius.
Yes!
That was a strong victory, too, for Jade right there.
Here are your winners.
We got Matt Toy here who says, did you see Indy Hartwell debuting on TNA, watching her vids? Happy she got signed so quickly. I did see that, and I was happy for her too. And it took her a minute to get her, like, you know, her bearings back. But she's always been like a very likable person. Like, I always see people speak very highly of her. So I feel like that obviously goes a long way when, you know, you're trying to get back out there. So I'm happy for her because look, she grabbed the spot that now, you know, who knows if she would have waited any longer, if it would have still been there. So yeah. Oh, look at this. Jade with Tiffy's title. But Jade,
the champion saying,
you know, that's a jinx when you grab the belt before you should.
It's yours for now, Tiffany.
The positioning for the women's championship.
I want to see this though. I do want to see Tiffy and Jade. Oh, don't forget about Naomi. Do not write Naomi out.
From behind.
Both women were.
She is not going to let Jade get that title. She's like, nope, not on my watch.
Take your eyes off that caution tape.
Listen, it's going to be Nia and Jade for the #1 spot a week from now. But it's Naomi.
I want to see Naomi as champion at some point. But I know not right now because it's Tiffy time. But at some point, though, I do want to see it.
What a night from here in Des Moines, Iowa. We're only
she's just steps on her stomach. That is so rude. Love it.
And Cena will be on SmackDown next week.
All right. Well, there you guys have it. That was Friday night SmackDown. That is over with now. We need to do this watch along post show, excuse me. So I'm going to give Robin a couple minutes to log in. And as soon as Robin gets in here, we'll get into it. But honestly, today is pretty much going to be release talk. I don't think we're going to cover much of SmackDown. So a little bit different than what we normally do. And thank you so much, Matt, again, for the super chat. We got JBX here who says, Denise, if you were a wrestler, what type of finisher would you want? Something high flying, something RKO, DDT-ish, or something powerful like a power bomb? Man, I'm gonna sound super basic, but it'd probably be a Canadian destroyer because it just looks cool. So I would, if I were a wrestler, I'd like to imagine that I'd be a flashy wrestler. Like I would be doing like 450s, 630s, black arrows, all these crazy things. That's what I like to think in my mind that I would do. Thank you, JBX, for the question and for the super chat. Thank you so much, man. All right, yes, and stalkers just like me, don't grab the belt. Action Rob says Denise DT. Oh shit. I don't know why I never thought about that. That's good. Denise DT. Holy shit. What? Denise DT is great. Okay, I'm going to have to use this at some point. Thank you, Action Rob. You just gave me marketing material. Thank you very much. Hey, Robin, how are you?
What up, Denise? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So, by the way, I meant to text you and I didn't even think to tell you, but today's show, we're going to basically focus on the releases and not so much SmackDown because, like, you know?
Yeah. A little bit of filler today.
Oh, big time. Big time. So, today's going to be a different show, guys. So, just warning you all, but let's get to it. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling. It's your girl, Denise Salcedo. It is Friday, May 2nd. And, of course, I'm joined, as always, by Robin Lundberg. And, Robin, first and foremost, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm a little bit of I gotta, it's a long SmackDown tonight. It's got to smack myself to wake myself up a little bit. But, no, I'm doing good, Denise. And I like the ending of SmackDown. I like the interplay between Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill with Naomi getting involved there as well. And the tease of Jade going for the big prize, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I did like that too. I like the women's segment, just like seeing them interact with each other, seeing specifically Jade and Tiffany interact with each other. I do enjoy that. Like, I know right now it's Tiffany Stratton's time, and I don't really feel like, her championship is going to be taken away from her. But the idea of Jade and Nia Jax, they're going to have a match next week to determine the new #1 contender for Tiffany, I think is huge. But I think they're pretty much going to go the direction, I assume, of Nia Jax versus Tiffany Stratton. So I'm not necessarily expecting Jade right now to get this, big opportunity, but we'll get to SmackDown in a second, guys. Unfortunately, SmackDown wasn't too newsworthy here today. Like, if this was the only thing we were talking about, we'd kind of be a little bit screwed, Robin. But actually, in unfortunate stuff, this has been the topic that we've been sort of discussing throughout the watch along, and we're going to get into it here as well as get Robin's thoughts. And that is another round of unfortunate WWE releases with some pretty surprising ones. Robin, I feel like a lot of the times, especially the last few releases, we're kind of like, oh, we kind of expected it for this person. We kind of saw it for this person. I thought that this mix of releases today, there were a couple of names in there that I felt like I was kind of surprised by. Like, I wasn't expecting them. So let's get into it. So who was released, who wasn't released? Let's break it all down here, guys. There's just a lot. So it basically started off, and I don't even have the hold on one second. Let me pull up the whole entire list here. I just realized I don't have the whole list. All right, here we go. So Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, Braun Strowman, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, and then Cora Jade, Jakara Jackson, Eddie Thorpe, Gigi Dolan, Riley Osborne. We also had Gallus is also been released. And then as of like a few minutes ago, also Ora Menza. So that's where we're at on the names of people that have been released. And it was one of those things where the news broke early in the day, Robin, and it just kept coming. Like, they were going faster than I could even honestly react to. So with that being said, just kind of like an overview, how'd you feel seeing these releases? And was there any of these that like really took you by surprise?
Yeah, I would say Braun Strowman. I mean, that one is the one that took me by surprise. There are a few names on there that it was like, oh, and then it's really 3. Braun Strowman, Dakota Kai, and Shayna Baszler. Given the history that Baszler had in the company, the impact that she had at one time. Dakota Kai has had some rough injury luck, but it was a name that I think caught some people by surprise. But to me, it was Braun Strowman more than anyone else, considering where he's been at the top of his career. The fact that he still draws curiosity and eyeballs because of his size and the spectacle that comes along with him, and how involved he was in some recent feuds. I mean, Jacob Fatu, he is part of what has gotten Jacob Fatu over to the level that Jacob Fatu is at now. Braun Strowman deserves some credit for that. Now, I know he dealt with some injuries as well, so I don't know how that factored in also, but I thought his most recent run was pretty successful. So that was the one that caught me the most off guard, because of all, Shayna Baszler hadn't really been relevant in recent times. Dakota Kai wasn't really actively involved. Braun Strowman was both a star in the past and one who was getting screen time of late.
Right. I feel like those were definitely some surprising ones. I want to go through each of them because I feel like there's a different to touch on for all of them. Let's kick things off with Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai, she's one that I actually really felt bad about, because Dakota is, dude, I just interviewed her at the Hall of Fame, and she's such a sweetheart. I've interviewed her a couple of times now, and every single time she's so sweet and she's so passionate. And I remember when she came back to the company, when she was re-signed, and she came back for SummerSlam, and it was such a cool moment. And I remember all the fans sort of expecting for Dakota Kai to finally have that run. You know what I'm saying? That run, the one that would mean that she would go on and become champion. People wanted to see Dakota Kai win the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament right before Lyra won, when they were working to crown the inaugural Intercontinental Championship. So a lot of people were really behind her. Unfortunately, she had some injuries, but she overcame them. She was on TV even when she was injured, when she was part of the Damage Control storyline. She was a big piece in that, because she was friends with Bayley, but also double timing her. And it was just, a lot that happened there. So I feel like Dakota Kai has always been someone that you've just sort of been waiting around to see when she was going to become like a main cast character, right? Like your Becky Lynch's, your Liv Morgan's, one of those people's on that level. And I just kind of feel like she was sort of, waiting for that moment to happen.
Yeah, I mean, and didn't she recently express some discontent about not being involved, and said she wasn't injured, which is a key point, of reference, because she did have the injury. So I don't know how, again, like I said with Braun, injuries are it sucks because they're not in your control. No one's out there trying to get injured, but it is also a bottom line business. And if you're not available, you're not providing that much value to the company. So I don't know how those things factor into these decisions exactly, when they're saying, what you might bring in the future, and what your worth is right now.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know, because to me, I guess the way that I see it is if you come back from injury and you get back out there and you're working and you're hustling and you're doing the thing, I feel like the injury shouldn't even be a topic anymore, right? It should be whatever you're doing at that point in time. At least that's the way that I see it. So that's why Dakota Kai was back. She wasn't injured. She was, just, I guess, waiting for the opportunity. Now with Shayna Baszler, she's the next person I want to get into. So Shayna Baszler, like you said earlier, she is somebody that has been with the company for several years, and she's kind of been in a bunch of different positions, right? She's been a tag team champion, you name it. Shayna Baszler has kind of done a lot. But as of most recent, she was part of the Pure Fusion Collective. And the thing with that, unfortunately, was the group, even though it had potential, the name was so bad that it just couldn't climb up the mountain. It just got stuck. It was almost dead before it even started. And once they decided not to renew Sonya's contract, I'm like, all right, I don't think PFC is going to continue. And now that Shayna's done, now it's just Zoe left. And I think Zoe, hopefully she gets to stick around. She's a great wrestler. But this kind of felt to me, it felt like they kind of felt, I'm assuming that they saw Shayna as somebody that they've already done just about what they could with. That's my assumption.
Yeah, and she had a bit of I don't want to say an attachment, but to me, Ronda Rousey and that sort of element, that sort of lane, the real life badass, MMA, that sort of background. And I guess she just sort of been MIA also, MMA, MIA, not to make light of a situation like this, of course, because it always sucks. But yeah, I guess they felt like they've squeezed everything out of that juice or what she had gotten to them or brought to the table before. But she does have a presence. She does have an on-screen presence. You do feel like, afraid of her in a sense when she mean mugs, all that stuff, which is translatable. So when you look at the landscape, and depends on what people plan to do in the future, but if you're another company and you think, okay, who might pop a crowd when they show up, who might, make people take us even more seriously if they're a part of what we're doing, she falls into that category, because I feel like if Shayna Baszler shows up somewhere else, we might be talking about that, right? So that is the best thing I could say for her going forward.
Shayna had something special in that you mentioned kind of being in her own category where she was just scary. She was scary. She wasn't this like, I'm just going to come out and be like picture perfect, exactly what you need me to be kind of. She couldn't be more opposite of a lot of the other women that they have there on the show. So I feel like you need women like that on the roster. And that's what I always thought Shayna was the best at, was that she had that badass aura to her always. And it was not something that you had to like pretend at or work at. She just had it. So I feel bad for Shayna, but I also, someone in my chat brought up how like they kind of see her doing more stuff with like Josh Barnett and Bloodsport and all of that. And I'm like, yo, go for it. Like, I would love to see what outside projects Shayna Baszler has to do, because she's got connections, she knows people, and I think she's savvy enough to do some cool stuff outside of WWE. Braun Strowman, we kind of covered him a little bit right now, but you're right. Braun Strowman was a surprising one. This is his second time now being released too. And, it always sucks like that, right? Like, it always sucks when it's not like your first time, it's the second time, because it's like, damn, man, like, I thought this was going to be it. Like, I thought things were going to get right here. And Braun, I was actually into Braun. I agree with you when you said that his second run back, I was loving what he did with Fatu, with Bronson Reed, all of that. I thought he was doing a good job. I thought he did well working with the meaty wrestlers. And I was not like at any point right now recently, like I wasn't over Braun Strowman. Like, I was entertained by Braun Strowman. So I was surprised by this one too.
Yeah, I mean, look, he did work to elevate those guys. Yeah, that was selfless in a sense, especially, knowing this news that we know now, because part of the elevation of Bronson Reed and a huge part of the elevation of Jacob Fatu came at the expense of Braun Strowman, because it feels like a big deal to do any damage to Braun Strowman because of how big he is. And in this business, that there's always an element to that. There's always a selling point to somebody like Braun Strowman, because they show up and you go, holy shit, look at that guy, right? And kids have that kind of reaction, like, oh, look at that guy. And Braun Strowman, I think he did his job in this most recent run. The thing that bums me out the most about it, to be honest, is I don't know if you saw that clip, but Paul Heyman, it was when he was on with McAfee, right around WrestleMania time, right after WrestleMania. And he said that Braun Strowman was complaining about, or not complaining, but lamenting the fact that he wasn't on WrestleMania. And Heyman was like, that's because you suck. And for that to be, and he said it like, not like in a joking manner.
No, yeah, because I had seen, because Paul Heyman had a lot of headlines in that one episode. Yeah. That's the one that I didn't see, the Braun Strowman one.
Yeah, it was a deep cut from because some of his other ones were more widespread headlines rather than like wrestling specific headlines. But he said it. Yeah, he said he told Braun Strowman he wasn't on WrestleMania because he sucks. And for that to be sort of this lasting impression, both in Braun Strowman's head from somebody like Paul Heyman, and in fans' heads who saw it. And, my apologies if you didn't see it and you're finding out now, but it stuck out to me. Yeah, that was what hit me the hardest, to be honest, because I don't think he sucked in this most recent run. I thought he did a good job, and I thought he still served a purpose. Again, he was injured too, so I don't know how that played into it. I don't know what his future endeavors are. I could see him, if he doesn't go on to continue in pro wrestling, getting henchman roles in movies and stuff like that, right? But that was a bummer to me when I heard that news, because I was like, oh, Braun Strowman, and then I went, oh, Paul Heyman just said that. That sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm actually really glad that you brought that up because that does kind of, just, I don't know, it gets you thinking, right? Like it gets you thinking. And I feel like here's the thing, like Braun Strowman isn't the guy that's going to go out there and have these like amazing, like crazy matches, right? But I do feel like you need a guy of his size to have those kind of meaty matches with other guys. And that's what I like. So again, I'm surprised. I remember the first time he was released, I don't know that I was that surprised by it. But this second time, I think I was a little bit more taken aback by it. But oh man. All right. Next up we had Kaden and Katana. I was not surprised by this one, unfortunately. This was actually the first names that I had seen in regards to the releases. And I was not surprised by this one. I have noticed since the NXT days that they were the girls that would go out there, do the cool moves, but story-wise, nothing ever stuck for them. And I remember I kept saying, like, we need to find their right personality. They haven't connected with the crowd yet. And I feel like the company sensed that too, because they would put them out there, but just to have like filler matches. Like it never felt like they were the main focus. Like they were just there. But I did kind of feel bad too. Well, I feel bad in general, but also the fact that, what do you call it? Shit, I forgot what I was going to say about Kanan and Katana, but they were a cool team. Oh, this is what I was going to say. That I still think that they were needed because we don't have that many women's tag teams. And at the end of the day, they were a freaking tag team. Like they weren't just a thrown together tag team.
Yeah, I mean, look, Denise, the truth of the matter is when we're talking about these things, every now and again there'll be a name that catches you off guard, and we just touched on that with what I was saying about Braun Strowman. But even in the grand scheme of what the WWE was doing, Braun Strowman wasn't heavily involved. He was involved in the Jacob Fatu thing and pretty big role there, but he wasn't on the WrestleMania card. The vast majority of the rest of the participants who are released are those who weren't really involved in major storylines. It didn't feel like they had a purpose, a groove, a fan response, what have you. And that's not to say they can never get it anywhere else. That's not to say they never would have gotten it. But a lot of those names, they don't shock me because we weren't sitting here talking about them on a Friday night. Right? Like we weren't sitting here recapping SmackDown going, oh, can you believe, that segment with them? And I don't want to single out anybody specifically by name almost in making that point because that's not fair to, I don't want to shit on somebody when they're down. But it's not surprising to me from like the big picture standpoint where some of these names and some of what we're talking about because they weren't who we were talking about.
Right. I feel you. Okay, so some other names that we have out here. I actually thought this one was very surprising, and this was Cora Jade. Cora Jade I thought was very surprising because she's somebody that, like, you think Roxanne Perez, you think Cora Jade, you think NXT girls, you think Cora Jade. And Cora Jade, though, she did spend quite a bit of time away from NXT. There was a bit where she was gone. She came back. She's unfortunately got injured. She was gone again. She came back, and we're like, all right, this is it. This is finally Cora Jade's time. And her fans were really, really behind her. Like people were really wanting to see Cora Jade become NXT Women's Champion. Like she's somebody that you were expecting to become NXT Women's Champion. So I did think this one was surprising, but at the same time, this is the biggest takeaway that I've got to say about the NXT women is that, and I say this every week on the Tuesday night show, I say right now it is harder than ever to like hold on to your spot. There are so many women on that roster and so many talented women in there that are like fighting, trying to get their moments, trying to get over. Some people are more over than others. And you got to really hold on to your spot. And more than ever, you gotta hang on. You really gotta hang on. And there's just a lot of women on the show. And I don't know. That's just my assumption that it's just, they probably felt like, okay, we don't, I'm assuming that's how they felt like, oh, we don't really need you. Because the other NXT girls that were also released were Jakara Jackson and Gigi Dolan. And mind you, Gigi Dolan was in a tag team with Tatum Paxley, been doing TNA stuff. Jakara Jackson had made those SmackDown appearances alongside Lash Legend. Even though we knew Lash Legend was the bigger star, Jakara was still pulling her own weight. And so, yeah, those were the NXT women. Any thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, my thought is with the NXT and a cut like that, it does catch you a little bit off guard because that's homegrown talent in the sense. And it's a little different when somebody's been up on the main roster and you've seen it just hasn't worked out, or, it hasn't stuck, versus somebody who hasn't really had that opportunity, that chance, and that role. So that's when you do go, okay, what goes behind it? And that's also what somebody in that position thinks too. I mean, look, Denise, I've been there, right? Like I've been there a couple times, actually. And it's the hardest thing is like, not internalizing it and bringing yourself down but you spin your wheels like, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? And that's what we're kind of doing for people right now. But I do think when an NXT release happens like that's what strikes me the most is it's not somebody who, okay, we saw it. It wasn't popping, but when it happened before it has the chance to ever pop. And yeah, to your point, it's a deep roster. I mean, when we started the show, when I signed on, I said my favorite part of SmackDown was the end with the women. And that's not an exact parallel to obviously her situation, but it is a commentary on the breadth of talent there, because there was a lot of women involved in the ring in that match. There's a lot of women who have come from NXT to go on to be huge stars in WWE. There's a lot of women still in the NXT division. So there's only so many spots, and these companies look at the bottom line, and some of these decisions are, okay, this is a salary versus this is what we're getting. I don't know what everybody's making, whatever, but that's part of that decision. Some of it, like I said, is injury. This person's been injured, or since they came back from an injury, we haven't quite seen them ever get their form again. Some of it's just beholden to the decision maker who just doesn't see it in a certain person versus another person. But that's what surprises me the most about somebody NXT related is they didn't get that next chance.
Yeah, because it's like, it's 100% echoed what you said. Because other people, you can say, okay, well, they were on the main roster, they had their chance. But NXT people, it's just like, okay, well, that's the developmental area. Like, that's where you go to learn. That's where you go to make the mistakes, right? Like, if you make a mistake, you better make it here. Don't be making it on the main roster. So it is a different type of, okay, well, what factored into it? With that being said, some other NXT names, Eddie Thorpe, Riley Osborne on the men's side, and I mentioned Gallus as well, and Ora Menza as of late. So with the men on NXT, it's a little bit of a different situation where they don't have that many men. And so I'm like, they can use what they've got. But I was very surprised. I think the one I was most surprised about for the guys was Riley Osborne, because Riley Osborne, I thought he did a fine job on the show, and I thought he was very entertaining to watch wrestle. I actually thought he was a good wrestler, and I was excited to see what was going to happen. He had a really good look, and that was it, right? So I was actually thinking, okay, if anybody is going to, eventually become something on this show, it's probably going to be Riley Osborne, and I couldn't have been more wrong by that, apparently, from the looks of it. So I was very sad to see his name on there too. So that's where we're at as of right now, and who's been released and all of that. We do have some super chats, so let's go ahead. And just a heads up, guys, the NXT releases, they do have a 30-day non-compete, and then the main roster the main roster releases have a 90-day no compete. So a little bit of a different in the dates there, but let's go ahead and see what everyone is saying. I kind of know it's a little bit all over the place, but let's see. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, what is your opinions on the releases and which release what you were surprised by? So always unfortunate to see anybody lose their job regardless. Robin just spoke about having been in situations like that. I've been in situations like that. I remember when I got hired for a really cool job, Robin, and I was so freaking broke at that time. This job was a heaven sent for me. I was going to be making the most money I ever made in my life during that time. And they pulled the plug about a month in. They decided to go corporate decided to go and cancel the channel. And I was just like, dude, I was already like spending the money in my head. So No, it always sucks whenever anyone loses a job. It doesn't matter if it's like in whatever field it is. Of course, it's worse when it's like your dream job and you're in WWE. That's obviously the worst, but still. And then the one I know you had mentioned you were most surprised by Braun Strowman. I think I was most surprised, honestly, by Dakota Kai and Cora Jade. I think those ones were the ones that surprised me the most.
Well, it's also the public aspect of it, Denise, where people are dissecting it and talking about it because some things happen behind the scenes. And I've had it happen where, I decided to share it. But I was in 2017. Now, it actually worked out for the best for me at that time because it was so high profile, which allowed people to, who were fans of mine to reach out, and it led to my subsequent job at that time. But I was part of the ESPN layoffs in 2017 that were very similar to this, where it's like reporters are saying, here's the next name, here's the next name, and then all of a sudden your name's out there, or you share your post and they go, oh, this person's part of that cuts as well, which is a different sort of dynamic than most people. It sucks for anybody when they lose their job, they get laid off, whatever. But it's a different sort of dynamic that you get in a business like what you and I are in, and like what happened to these superstars here. And that's why it's on a Friday. I think it feels like you and I have done this a few times now.
Yeah, I think this is like, you and I haven't been hosting the show that long together, and I'm pretty sure this is our third or second releases episode.
Yeah, because, well, they do rolling layoffs, right? Companies do rolling layoffs on some sort of target date so that they can present it to shareholders and do this whole corporate sacrificial thing about the bottom line budget, whatever. But it's also the good old-fashioned Friday news dump, because for the most part, if you're trying to put bad news out into the universe, you do it on a Friday because it gets the least amount of coverage. So I think that probably plays in as well.
And then right before SmackDown, so maybe they're hoping that they talk about SmackDown, but ain't nothing be happening on SmackDown tonight. All right, we got Sleaze Boy here who says, will not forgive WWE for having Dakota, Kaden, and Casey lose to Lyra and having Shayna lose to a stupid doll. At the end of the day, it's all about profit. Yep, that's how it is, guys. Rafael, thank you, Sleaze Boy. We got Rafael Garcia who says, so let me see if I got this. You got rid of 5 women's tag teams when you need women's tag teams, a stable who got Rock and Ring in shape, and half of Metaphor. Yeah, so the only people left of Metaphor is Lash Legend and Noam Dar. Noam Dar was also gone for injury for a very long time, and he just came back. So I mean, I would be nervous as all hell. And then on top of that, Gallus was the ones that had helped out The Rock to get back into ring shape. Thank you so much for reminding me that, because I had forgotten that. And then, yes, we do need women's tag teams. So thank you for reiterating that. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, I feel like Cora Jade got released from her 2 surgeries and wasn't drawing and got stuck on NXT and never got called up to the main roster with wish luck for her. So like she was Cora. Yeah, Cora, I think Cora did get some good buzz when she came back and people were excited, but I think her buzz was quickly, her thunder was quickly stolen, I think, by some other new additions on NXT.
Yeah, and there is a common theme here with injury. I think with a lot of these names have dealt with injury, which is just a cruel part of the business, right? Because it's you don't want to be injured because you can't perform. You don't want to be injured because your body is hurt and failing you, and it's not your fault that you're being injured unless you did something reckless or stupid. But that just comes with the bumps and bruises of the business. And then on the other side, the very cold business standpoint is, if you're injured, you're not producing for us. You're not on television. You're not drawing. You're not doing all that. Maybe it limits your future abilities because of the nature of the injury. I don't know, but it does seem like a common thread through many of these releases are performers who either were recently injured or have had a noteworthy injury history in recent times.
Oh man, I'm just thinking of all the people that are injured right now, and I'm like, you better not. I'm not even gonna say it. They better not. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I think to be honest, I think this is how it works, right? Like we've seen it. So the names that come, maybe 1 or 2 more will trickle out, but the names that were out there today are going to be the names. I don't think it's there might be an isolated thing here and there, but it's not going to be another wave until the next round of this is a round of layoffs. In a typical corporate job, it would be that. It's the day that that I've been through them where I've been a part of them. I've been through way more where I wasn't a part of them. And I know that feeling of coming into work that day and it's like, oh, it's that day. Who's getting that call? Who's telling you goodbye? Who's doing all, but that's the way that those, these businesses work. And WWE, especially now under the TKO umbrella, is that, right? Like it's, in a different day, it was up to the whims of a certain madman, but now it's up to the whims of the corporate final bosses, if you will.
Yeah, well said. We got Sheldon Jackson here who says at this point when WWE announces an Australian show, you kind of have to hold your breath and assume that WWE releases are coming. So that was something that Sheldon brought up, that the last time they announced the Australian show in 2023, I think he said it was, they had a ton of releases. And yeah, that was definitely something that's going to make me nervous for sure. Thank you, Sheldon. We got Nice Podcast Stupid who says Cora Jade is the only release who puts butts in seats. I don't know. It's hard to say, guys. You'd be surprised. People like different people, but yeah, Cora Jade was definitely a surprising one for sure. Bob Ross Jr. says, I just took a shower and a nap. Did any other releases happen? No, the last ones that came in were Gallus and Oro Menza. And Oro Menza was in like the last hour or so, and Gallus was in like the last 3 hours or 2 hours or so. We got Sucho here who says, sucks that they lost their job, but I'm glad the wrestling industry is a better place than a couple of years ago. AEW, TNA, GCW, etc. They have no problem finding work. Yeah, that was one of the things that I mentioned right off the bat, is that having these other places to work is a godsend for so many people, because imagine not having any place else. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to go work you can go work the indies, great, but that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to go and work that kind of, have that kind of lifestyle. And then what do? Go find a different career? No. Like, now there's more options and there's more places where you can at least have a better chance of, making it.
Yeah, look at, and that is a great thing. Certainly more opportunity to do that. And then because there's more of that, there's more opportunity to cover that as well. Like what happens when athletes age out of their positions, they oftentimes go into broadcasting. Hell, you and I are doing Busted Open tomorrow, right? We have literally talked about people who have been released who are now a part of that program, right? Like, so that is it's not even just that you can go and latch on with one of these companies. It's also because there are so many companies, and because the wrestling industry is so big right now, and because WWE is the juggernaut that it is right now, that there's also more opportunity for content creation and coverage and spin-off careers in doing that too. So, you always hope everybody lands on their feet. Sometimes for people, it's different versions of what they were doing. Sometimes for people, it's the best thing that ever happened to them. You never know. But as far as the point made below, that it's a good one for a variety of reasons, both on the strength of the industry and the opportunity for, employment elsewhere within the industry.
Steven Marchulli here says Cora Jade getting cut is really surprising due to fan support. Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure a lot of her fans are really devastated because, again, she had the support from the fans. Very surprising. We got Action Rob here who says Cora was killing it in GCW before NXT. I can see her showing up there and showing what she can do deathmatch wise, and I feel Tony would like her. Yeah, she's super young. She's got a great look. She's talented. I think she would do good wherever she decides to go. TNA, AEW, GCW, whatever she decides to do, maybe a little bit of everything, who knows. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, everything I wanted to say and give my opinion, Robin did a great job putting a perspective on everything and hit all the points I was going to say. Thank you so much, Anthony. We got Sleaze Boy here who says, saw some of your worst WrestleMania of our era, and the worst WrestleMania is WrestleMania 44, where I 100% creative control and unethically booked the show. Sleaze Boy, I had no idea where you were going with this. I was like, what?
I still don't quite understand.
Well, he's already future planning his WrestleMania 44 booking. Okay. But yes, guys, please just go check out those videos. I'm still posting daily pro wrestling content. So please go back and check out the catalog of videos that I've already shared. We got JBX here who says, anyone that wasn't on there, you're surprised wasn't. Oh, I don't want to answer that because I don't want to even manifest the idea of anyone losing their job. That's just too sucky. So I don't want to even think that way. But JBX, thank you so much for sending in the super chat. We got Patrick Moore here who says, Team Denise, yes, I Buckwell talent and Bangs bringing joy on a sad day of releases. Hope Shayna gets a proper final chapter somewhere. Yeah, Shayna's gonna kill it. She's gonna kill it. And also, thank you so much for the support, Patrick. I'm very excited about the news. And yeah, I'm my personal news, obviously, not the wrestling news. Not the wrestling news, two totally different
You have your own wise man now? Is that kind of the deal?
I got my own wise man finally, and it only took me, get this, Robin, 10 years. It only took me 10 years to make it happen. But yes, I'm very, very excited. Thank you so much, Patrick Moore, for the generous super chat, seriously. And yeah, I'm rooting for Shayna, man. I am rooting for Shayna. She's a cool person. All right. I do want to mention some things from SmackDown. Really, the biggest thing that really came out of the show is that a U.S. title 4-way match has been set for Backlash. We're going to be seeing Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest versus LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the U.S. title. And I like this because I think the action will be good. It gives all these guys a matchup. And Jacob Fatu, I'm assuming I'm wondering who's there to take the pin. That's the real question. I'm thinking it's either Priest or LA Knight. I don't think it should be Drew.
Yeah, I don't think it will be Drew unless there's some real shenanigans at play. I mean, Drew just beat Damian Priest at WrestleMania, so it doesn't make sense for him to just eat a pin. Now, again, in a chaos match like that, I could see other things that make it so it's not this is a hit on Drew McIntyre. It was just so crazy or something happened. So I reserve that right. But yeah, the guys who, I mean, Damian Priest just took one. LA Knight just lost the title as well. They feel like they're in the weakest position relative to the other two. So, if I'm betting on not even necessarily just the outcome of the match that with that specificity, but the stocks, it's Fatu and McIntyre.
Yes, exactly that. But yeah, I felt the same way. Like even watching LA Knight and Damian Priest today, I was worried because I'm like, yo, both of these guys kind of need the win. Ended up being no contest, but I mean, damn, I think like both of them were just in no position to lose. My favorite match of the night was actually pretty deadly in Fractum, with Fractum getting the win. I thought this was the best match of the night. It was it was fast paced, it was entertaining. Both teams looked incredible.
Yeah, Fractum moves with a really, really good pace. The finishing bit that they did there was great too. Tag team division on SmackDown seems to be thriving off of the big match last week as well, and they look like they're worthy entries into it. So when they get in there with the Street Profits, that'll probably cook.
Yes. All right, we got Aleister Black versus The Miz. Aleister Black obviously wins with his black mask. This went on a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought this was going to be a quicker match for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it was really all about Miz getting kicked in the face. That was kind of, which we saw kind of in a different format last week. But yeah, this is an attempt to, make Aleister Black's arrival feel significant. And you know what? Credit The Miz for a second, because this is a guy who's been a champion. This is a guy who I've seen do like in-arena emceeing for others at events. This is a guy who I know runs the gamut of the interview circle before, they put him out there because he can talk. He was with R-Truth in that tag team. Now he's with Carmelo Hayes, trying to elevate him. So that is somebody who does the business, right? And does whatever the duty is at hand, because he sure don't, for a former, you forget what he was at his peak at one point. And he at least gives his all in all those performances. So I'm taking this moment to give a shout out to The Miz.
He works hard. You cannot take that away from him. He works very, very hard. We got Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. Zelina Vega got the victory over here with a little bit of a distraction there from Chelsea. This was a fun little matchup there. I didn't think it was bad. I actually like the way both Zelina and Piper look together. Yeah, I don't really got any complaints or anything. Anything that stood out to you for this matchup, Robin?
Not particularly.
Not that much,
I mean,
huh?
that's kind of my, that would be my review of SmackDown in general. Anything stood out for you? Not particularly.
Not really, because like even the Randy segment, it wasn't bad at all, but he was kind of just stuck reiterating a lot of things that we already heard and saw. And one of my biggest things was like, this happens all the time in these John Cena feuds, because since he's not able to be there every week, he kind of leaves his opponent like out in the water, like looking for new material to talk about. This happened with Cody. We're seeing it with Randy, and I'm like, this was a good Randy promo, but was it anything super newsworthy? No, not really.
Well, he mentioned the one bit that I saw people run with a little bit is that John Cena is the
PG?
ultimate puppet for the ultimate puppet master. Now,
Vince line.
Yeah. So I don't know, if that's a callback to just, Vince, or he's implying something else. Everybody always wants to speculate with the Rock because of the controversy there. But no, I'm with you. And really what it is a glaring lack of star power in a sense, because you take John Cena off the table, who's the champion and already wasn't always there. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and what they got going on over on Raw is a big deal, but they're not a part of SmackDown. Roman Reigns hasn't been a consistent part of the show in a while. I feel like the biggest ones that we come here afterwards are the ones that he's involved with, or when he and CM Punk were involved leading up to WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes is absent after losing at WrestleMania. He hasn't been seen since, right? So that's a lot of star power to take off the table, and it's just hard to make that up until those guys are back, or some of them are back. It's just hard to make it up. You just ain't gonna have the same juice. It is what it is.
No, and you're right, because we are missing all those names that you just said. And I'm like, right now I'm good with like Cody, like, taking the time away. I want to have the opportunity to miss him a little bit more. So I do feel that way. And then, right now, who knows what's happening with Roman and CM Punk and all of that. But yeah, I just, it is one of those things where, okay, heading into Backlash, like we're going to need just a little bit more, I think there between Randy and John. But then again, they're kind of just basing it off of like, they're running off of the history, and they made sure to play the video packages and all of that. A match that I felt took way too long was actually Santos Escobar and Rey Fenix. I felt like they were stalling for time here. Some good moments in it, but I thought that it should have been trimmed down so much more. I don't know. Did this stand out to you at all?
Not particularly.
No, I know.
There's my
I was
two
excited for it, and then they
review.
kind of just like it was too slow. I don't know why they did such a slow match. Like that's not what I was expecting from Phoenix and Santos Escobar.
Yeah, no, yeah, especially and Rey Fenix is still relatively fresh. So yeah, not a great showing across the board there. I would say.
No. And then the main event, Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill found themselves defeating Nia Jax and Naomi. And then, of course, this is we're still going to try to figure out who is going to be Tiffany Stratton's opponent over for Backlash. It's either going to be Nia Jax or Jade Cargill. And then, of course, Naomi's still going after Jade Cargill and attacking her. What'd you think about this?
This I liked. This was my favorite thing on the show, I would say. Just because I like the Tiffany Jade tease. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. When I see them, like Jade has the title and also seeing Jade with it, like, cause she's always had the look, and we're seeing her put more and more of the package together. And then you wonder, like, what do they see her future and her ceiling as? And you see her hold the title. I don't know if she can do everything yet that goes along with holding that, but she sure damn looks good with it. And that's what I thought.
She's improved. That's the thing that I was noticing during this match, Robin. I feel like before she when she first came into WWE, it was a little bit rough, right? Like you saw Bianca really kind of like fill those gaps for her. But now that we've been seeing her like on her own, do her own matches and whatnot, I feel like she's looking so much more confident in the ring. And I'm curious. I want to know like what she did during that time away when we were trying to figure out who threw her through the windshield, because to me, it feels like maybe she was off trying to, just get better. Whatever she's doing, it's working, and, keep doing it, because I am seeing a difference in Jade's in-ring performance and her comfortability as well as her confidence. And that's always really great to see. All right. So that's pretty much SmackDown, guys. Like there wasn't that much on today's show. We do got a couple of super chats. This is from Anthony Giuliano, who says the problem with WWE has a company certain names will always be a mid-carder or stuck in one spot and not moving into the main event scene, which sucks. Yeah. And you can quickly fall into that too. Like 1 second you're hot and the next they're like, oh, you're not that hot no more, which is unfortunate. But it does happen. Anthony also says, we always see the same trend before releases, but I do hope everyone has successful careers in other companies. Exactly. And, some people we see continue on and do bigger and better things. Some people we don't really hear from. And it's just the nature of the game, I guess, whatever you can do, whatever the best you can make of whatever situation you're in. And then some people, maybe they just don't want to stay in the wrestling world anymore. So who knows? And it's just a thing that we've kind of gotten used to now. Professor Elm 13 says, no way out to 1,000. Orton slapped the referee to get DQ'd. Any chance? Cena does the same at Backlash. He wants to ruin wrestling. # remember the plot. I don't know what they're going to do. I would hope that there would be some callbacks to like their history since they have such a vast one. But I don't know exactly what those callbacks would be.
But I'm interested in how that match concludes because I can't imagine John Cena is relinquishing the title having won it in the way he won it and with the heel turn. But at the same time, this is the first time Randy has kind of had that taste of this scene since he returned from injury, and you don't want to just throw that to the side either. So how they navigate the storylines between the history and between what might be next for John Cena and Randy Orton is intriguing. I mean, that I'm genuinely curious about when it comes to Backlash.
Yeah, me too, because I've been sitting here going like, damn, I'm really interested in Randy Orton getting that title back. But at the same time, I know John Cena's not going to lose it after just having won it. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. But if this is the last match between Randy and John, like if this is really it between them, I do want to enjoy it. And I hope that it's better than what he did with Cody. So let's hope for the best. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, do you guys think Randy Orton will break Cena's record before his career is over? He has that chance. He really does have the chance of making it happen. But I don't know, man. Obviously, he's a little bit older. There's more people coming up the pipeline. So it is tougher. It's doable, but it's tougher.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's just too many. I mean, if we were to say like he would do it one more time, maybe. What does he need? 3, 4?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You know which record I do think he'll be? I do think he'll beat Triple H's WrestleMania record. Because I think he only needs like 3 or 4 more WrestleMania matches to beat Triple H's record. And then it would be literally The Undertaker 1 with the most appearances, and then Randy Orton 2 if he beats Triple H.
Well, look, I mean, to be second all-time in WrestleMania appearances and second all-time, it is not a bad testimony to your career or thing to put at the top of your Wikipedia page.
Exactly. Put it in the bio. Yeah. Put it in the bio. Second most WrestleMania matches behind The Undertaker. He could get there. Right now he's 3rd, so we'll see. Thank you so much, Anthony Giuliano. Alrighty, guys. Well, there you have it. That was our show for today. A little bit different than what Robin and I normally do. We usually focus a lot more on SmackDown, but today was just a different ball game. With that being said, before we wrap things up, I do want to remind everybody that each and every single day I'm dropping pro wrestling content that even includes Saturdays and Sundays. So keep an eye out here on the channel. If you're bored one day and you're like, I don't know what to do, chances are I'll have some new videos for you guys to check out, so you guys can do that. Also, I do also want to tell you guys that my podcast, I know some people don't like to watch video podcasts. They like to listen to audio podcasts. So I am available. You can listen to all of the shows on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and pretty much every single podcast platform there is. Please go and follow those. If you do follow those pages, screenshot it, send it to me, tag me. I'll make sure to retweet you guys and show you guys some love for showing me some love and the podcast some loves, because I am trying to boost the visibility of those podcasts as well, get them to the YouTube levels. Other than that, Robin, please take the floor and let the people know what you're working on.
Yeah, you can find me over on YouTube as well, Robin Lundberg channel there. Follow me on X. I promote all my stuff there as well. And you and I will be back doing this tomorrow morning on Busted Open, right?
Tomorrow, join Robin and I will be on the air, baby. It'll be a good time. All righty, guys, have an awesome weekend. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Yeet.